family-owned and operated business, and we love people, and we want to give back to the community, and we're looking for great salespeople. These people suck. The owner did nothing about this. The general manager actually started attacking us for telling the truth. We proved through Mercedes-Benz that they not only used the wrong installation methods, but they ruined the engine because of it. We proved that they were liars. Look on our YouTube channel and you'll find it. I'm trying to figure out what I called it on YouTube. But anyway, it'll tell the whole story. So anyone in the Springs area, watch out for Springs Auto and Truck Service Center. Bad news. You will not want to deal with these people. And now I can't even imagine what they're going to do when it comes to a used car place. Now I'm looking here and I can't find it. Dan or somebody, if you can find my video, I want to tell people how to find it on YouTube about this Sprinter van. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. It's on YouTube. It was put up a month ago, and if you search it, it's called Springs Auto and Truck Service Center. Sucks. Actually, I think it's technically called Springs Truck and Auto Service Center. Perhaps I ought to edit that. It's Springs Truck and Auto Service Center. So I'm going to change that. Truck and Auto Service Center, so you can find it. That is the name of the place in Colorado Springs. And I want you, in fact, I might even play this from YouTube a little later in the show so you can hear it, because I want to warn everyone, if they run their car dealership the way they've run this place, oh my God, you will be shocked. So I just want to give that programming note. Let's talk to Abigail. Abigail, what's going on with you? Hello, Abigail. Yes. Can I help you? What's happening? Well, ADT, in my opinion, they're ubiquitous. They're all over the place, but they're probably the last system I would buy ever. It's better than nothing, but the monitoring is overcharged, the equipment is overcharged. It's all a bunch of crap, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. What are they going to do? What are they going to do for you? Let's put it that way. Are they going to do anything for you? So what's happening right now? Okay, so now you understand what you're dealing with. What are you going to do about it? Cancel them. Yeah. Okay, so where do we stand right now? Okay, so fine. So listen, Abby, they're not going to let you out. They're not going to let you out without penalty. It doesn't matter what they say. They will routinely lie to you about this. So here's the point. You have to take a stand and not pay. Wait for them to step it up a notch, and then you're going to simply say you canceled for breach of contract. They could not fulfill their contract to you. That's really all you can do with ADT. They're going to keep harassing you, but They very seldom will actually take you to court. But if they do, you have to be prepared to go and simply say to the judge, here are my notes. You don't have to give blow by blow like you did with me. Just give your notes that this date, this date, this date, this date, this date, malfunctions they never addressed ever. It never addressed, never worked properly, and simply tell them it was a breach of contract. That is why you canceled, for a breach of contract. But right now you just have to ignore them.
And I've hired an attorney, and this is the other.
I don't know why you would hire. You hired an attorney? Wow.
Well, it's because there's a collections, because I got a collections letter from defenders, and it's not to go after them, but basically to try to resolve this without it impacting my credit or getting.
Well, it's going to cost you more in attorney's fees than to just ignore it and then go to court and fight it. Listen, you can do it any way you want, Abigail. If your purpose was to let us know about it, that's fine. ADT won't work with us. They don't work with anyone. I'm hoping people listen and hear what ADT is all about, because you're a typical customer. In fact, the only, people are happy with ADT because they don't know any better, because they've never had a problem, because if they do, they're going to end up like you. And here's the other thing. There are so many other services out there better. So many services. Better, cheaper. Security Central's one of them. There are so many good companies. Abigail, you're on the right track. I wouldn't have hired an attorney. I would have waited till they actually take me to court. Then I would decide if I'm going to hire an attorney or not. Very seldom will they actually take you to court. ADT covers the country, and in my opinion, they suck. That's all I can tell you. You are basically typical. If there's a problem, don't expect help. Just don't expect it. That's the way they are. That's just the way they are. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk about a good company, One Clear Choice Garage Doors. They, if you mention my name, will give you a free safety inspection. They will tighten your hinges and bolts. They will check your cables, do a safety adjustments, and then put a sticker on the door because they want to be your company. If you suspect you have any problems, ask for that free inspection. And then, of course, if they have any work that has to be done, you can find all their prices at oneclearchoicedoors.com. Whether it's a sudden emergency, a broken spring, something you need immediately, or you just want to upgrade, give them a call, 303-565-6409, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
This report is brought to you by Money Tree.
What is the thing about hours, do you think? Whatever you discuss, 10 to 7?
So once we find somebody to fill them, we'd be open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 to 8.
Oh, man.
So this person would work.
You think 8:30? Do you think that's necessary, the 8:30 hour? Is that for your workers?
Yeah, we just have to our commercial side. Yeah. But the new person would work Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 to 8, and Saturday, 9:30 to 5.
Clear skies, breezy still, a low of 52.
Are you looking for somebody experienced in sales and floor coverage?
Traffic in
Like
weather,
an Allison.
6:30 K Howe.
So we've got the ad all written up, just going to be posted to Craigslist.
A Money Tree payday loan up to $700.
Have you ever advertised on there for help before?
Can
you get good luck?
Yeah.
Have you tried any other of the job sites like Monster or anything?
Let's tell us the cost.
If you're looking for a beautiful smile,
But it seems every time, and I sell stuff on there all the time, and post ads on there for people, and we get hits like crazy.
we get branded.
You can do cosmetic dentistry that also improves your health. It's
I imagine when it comes to employees,
engineers and will truly
I mean,
fix the problem, not just cover it up.
you
don't have to
you
spend $50,000 in veneers, or you don't have to
accept them or not, but when it comes to
braces, Aurora
contractors,
Orthodontics
we've had so
the
many
new
people that talk. It usually starts with, I found them on Craigslist.
Sometimes the entire thing from beginning to end can be
Yeah,
2 years or less.
we've contacted a couple installers through Craigslist for the last 2 or 3 years, and they turned out to be just
straight teeth.
absolutely terrible.
Better health because it all will correct.
I mean, it's not, I guess,
Sleep apnea and
it's not Craigslist fault, I guess.
Dr. Kent Lawson, pioneers in
no check
orthodontics.
your
You should
analysis
give
on
him a call for a
anybody.
consultation.
Anybody can get on there.
303-690-0100.
And usually football starts there.
303-690-0100. Hey guys, it's
Miranda
Ross
was
Kaminsky,
decent,
and
though.
you know
That's
my
good.
background is in investing and finance. So I wanted to bring you a suggestion for a financial decision that could be a great.
Yeah, the last gal we hired, like Matt said,
Talking
from
about
Craigslist, she
cutting
was
back your mortgage term.
she was
or
pretty close
lowering
to
your
being a
interest
rock
rate.
star, but she
For many
had a bunch of
homeowners,
personal
my
stuff
friends
come
at
up
American
where she just kind of
Financing
went off the
have the
rails.
best option for you to own your home free and clear in 15 years. That's right. By
Dan, I think he's
refinancing to a
a
15-year fixed rate mortgage, you can eliminate mortgage, consolidate high interest debt, and even save tens of thousands of dollars in interest over the long run. Yes, tens of
Carpet's
thousands
working out
of
okay for you?
dollars in overall savings.
It's great, yeah. I'm having the whole floor done, the entire floor. So I'll roll that up. I just put it down to see how it looks, but I'm having the whole hanging floor done with epoxy. For polyurea.
334 regulated by the Fishery Real Estate.
Do you think you pay too much to sell a house? Hi, this is John Vizzi with Colorado Flat Fee Realty. If you sell a $400,000 house and the agent charges you 6%, that'll cost you $24,000 for just a few days' work. Colorado Flat Fee Realty has a much better rate. On a $400,000 sale, you would save $10,000
Why, you guys do it?
with Colorado
Oh,
Flat
you
Fee
did, I
Realty.
good.
Why would you listen with anyone else? Call 303
I got it out for bid.
9660 or visit ColoradoFlatFeeRealty.com.
100% co-op applies.
Isn't it nice? And that's just a little corner of the hangar.
Yeah.
But that rug is perfect.
Yeah, it looks
And that's
good.
outdoor furniture. And then I have a TV over there now, but it's just a sitting area. I don't know if I took a wide shot. It's just all I have is yeah, this is my hangar. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get it fixed up. I mean, it's really in good condition. It's like new, and it's one of the few areas of the airport where you get an actual deed, and you don't have to worry about a lot of the HOA stuff that normal ones do. You still have an HOA, but it's different. I really like the area of the airport. It's very private. It's very desirable. A lot of people want to be there, so it's hard to get a unit there. But see that green ugly paint? That's a painted green concrete. Good description. Planks. Do they interlock tongue and groove?
They do. They do.
Now, I've seen them where I swear to you, I had to get down with my fingernails and see, is this wood? Because it looks so much like wood. And then you have some that look like stone.
Right.
Now, here's my opinion. Here's my question. Now, I really mean this. Why would anyone do anything else? Because you can even get that waterproof. Whereas if you got one of these laminates, you can't. Water is not friendly to them at all.
No, it's not. I mean, there's some products out there that claim to be a little bit more water resistant nowadays, but still, it's basically a paper core that absorbs water, and when it gets wet, and it puffs up, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Now the vinyl, the luxury vinyl tile, does it fade?
If it's exposed to direct sunlight, it will fade.
It can fade.
Bubble from heat, yeah.
Okay, and so how does it hold? But in most residential environments, isn't it pretty bulletproof?
For the most
Especially the waterproof kind?
part. Oh yeah.
I wonder if anybody's tried to do that luxury vinyl tile like in a garage, because it's waterproof. You can get it waterproof and stuff. I wonder. I'm just curious. What kind of? Have you ever had a weird installation with it?
No, I would say in a garage, it's something we could probably have to check out just for, if you're going to be parking
Or a
vehicle in
workshop?
there. Workshop it would be totally fine.
It'd
Lots
be
of
perfect.
mudrooms,
Mudrooms, right? Basement refinishes.
Lots of basements. Lots of basements.
And
we installed it in the basement of a very big and beautiful home in was it Cherry Creek or Cherry Hills, Cherry Hills Village.
Yeah.
And this lady had her pipes burst a couple of times because she had radiant heat.
Oh.
And she wanted something that was going to look nice but hold up if she's on vacation and the pipes burst again.
Sure.
So we put it in there, and it's beautiful, multi-million-dollar home.
I love that stuff. Anyway, I love hardwood too. The thing with hardwood in Colorado, in my opinion, I've had it in several homes. You really can't get perfect hardwood over years. Over years, it tends to I don't know. Does it?
Well,
it dries up. It dries out a little.
The way to look at hardwood is you have to look at it as a living thing. It's always absorbing moisture and expelling moisture and moving.
Yeah, it is. Now you can get it pretty good, but not perfect. Anyway, Tom, what is your comment on ADT?
Hey, Tom, I've been in the security investigations field for 32 years. I've experienced every large, national, local, to some degree.
I don't like ADT. What is your opinion?
Well, I got to be FCC compliant, and I would concur with your opinion. They suck.
Otherwise you'd have even stronger words. Okay. You know, they're high-pressure sales. They're scare tactics. They're expensive monitoring. The equipment is crap. I don't know why anybody would buy them.
Their advertising, their marketing is genius. That's why they do it.
And then they have this what do you call it? Proprietary key. So even if you own the equipment, you can't get into the box to do anything.
Absolutely.
I don't mean a lock and key. I mean a proprietary password thing they won't give out to other companies. So even if you went through the pain of their equipment, you own it. And even if you went through the pain of the initial contract and you own the equipment, you can't get in that box.
You can't get in the box, and you can't on the commercial side. Their keypads are proprietary too.
Do you know
actual keypads?
Who do you work with now? Anybody in the security biz?
Unfortunately, I'm unemployed, but yeah, right now.
Have you heard of Security Central, Jordan, over there?
Absolutely, they're very good.
They're great people.
We used Protection One, had experience with them, but they just got absorbed by ADT too. So it's now one big happy family.
Yeah, I think Security Central is one of the few locally owned and operated and actual local monitoring and everything. I think they're one of the only ones around still.
What do you guys think of Simply Safe?
Who's Simply Safe?
Yeah.
Is that what you use?
Yeah.
Simply Safe. I don't know. Have you heard about them, Tom?
Simply Safe, absolutely. It's and I concur. They have monitoring. It's $14.99.
They're good. They're good people.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
the best I've
good.
ever
How'd you guys find them over there at Paradigm?
I think I heard them on the radio, Dan Patrick show or something. But they're all wireless components that you just peel and stick to the wall and
really
plug right in, and it's got a cellular component, so it's not hardwired to the wall, and it's battery backup.
And what's your code? I thought I'd trick you really quickly, but you didn't fall for it. Okay, Bob, what's going on?
Well, I have a couple of questions about stem cell and prolotherapy.
Okay, two different things: stem cell and prolotherapy. Stem cell. If you want to learn about it.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that would be their informational seminars.
Well, I'm going to sign up for that.
Yeah, because there's absolutely no obligation there. It's Stem Cell Institute of America, it's called. Those are the ones I'm a spokesperson for. Stem cell is a technology I do believe in. Now, statistically, they don't work. It doesn't work 100% of the time. I mean, that's the industry. They'll tell you that. But they do say that 100% of the time you get some kind of improvement. I'd have to agree on that. And I have to say it was almost a miracle on my lower back. Now, let me explain. Stem cell therapy is from donated birth tissue from the umbilical cord, and it's packed with growth hormones, and they inject it into the site, and not growth hormones, growth factors. I call them hormones. I'm not sure they are. Anyway, what they do is they attach themselves to the troubled area and mimic the cells around and start growing. It's almost like they automatically know where the growth is needed and fill in the blanks. So that's Stem Cell Institute of America, by the way, 855-262-4040. They have these seminars. That's why I love them, because they don't expect you to make an appointment. You go to their seminars all over the metro area, and if you like it, you like it. And then if anybody wants to see this video, it's stemcelltherapyforpain.com. It's 855-262-4040. Now, prolotherapy is a different animal altogether. Prolo meaning like. It's like therapy, meaning that really what they mean is they inject you with an irritant that actually causes pain and inflammation and injury in a controlled way. So if you have a bad elbow or knee or lower back, I've had prolotherapy. They inject it deep into that tissue, and I think some of them use capsaicin or cayenne pepper and some water or salt water or something that would cause a tiny bit of irritation. The idea is to stimulate the body's system to cure its own system, where it goes in first and it brings fibroblast cells, white blood cells, and fibroblast cells to rebuild. First the white blood cells, it swells up a little, it heats up. Then the white blood cells come in and clean everything out, and then the fibroblast cells rebuild scar tissue, which makes the area stronger. It really works. It works 100% of the time, prolotherapy. Now, if you're too far gone, it's not going to rebuild tissue like, for example, stem cell does. Prolotherapy simply knits back together stuff and stabilizes stuff with like a scar tissue, whereas stem cells grow new tissue. So that's prolo. And then PRP is an offshoot of prolotherapy. PRP is platelet-rich plasma, where they take your blood and spin it down to get a really, really high-potency platelet, or plasma, platelet-rich plasma, and they inject that into the site, which have curing factors in it. Again, that doesn't grow new tissue. That's kind of like a prolotherapy on steroids. It causes a little bit of irritation, but it also has your body's own natural platelets, which go in and repair the area. So 3 different therapies. They're all good for certain things. What's interesting is they're using PRP to grow hair. They're injecting it into people with thin hair, and it's thickening up hair. Unbelievable. Dr. Dean Jones started doing that. He's tracking some cases, and I've been watching him because I thought, hey, I have some thinning areas. That would be fun to try. So anyway, what can I answer other than I just outlined what the 3 therapies are?
Well, that was a wonderful explanation of the 3 therapies and very helpful to a layman. I'm 81 years old.
81?
Does age make a difference?
Well, sure. Age makes a difference with everything because your body does not respond as quickly when you're older as when you're younger. So PRP won't work the same. Prolo should work the same, but the curing cycle in an older person will be a bit slower. Your white blood cells, your swelling, your pain will be a little more. Your white blood cells will be a little slower. Your fibroblast rebuilding cells, they're all going to be a little slower than if you're younger. The younger you are, the more growth hormones and the more growth factors you have, and the faster you cure. And with prolotherapy, that's actually what you're doing. You're curing. They re-injure the area in a microscopic dose, and then you have to cure that area. Hold on, I have to take this break. I'll come back if you have a specific question. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. There may be a time in your life where you need Joseph A. Lazzara. I talk about all my experts. Joe Lazzara is one of them, and he's one of them I always say, hey, I hope you don't need him. Joe Lazzara is a defense attorney, a criminal defense attorney. That means if you've been stupid and did something, you need him. Sometimes you're not stupid. You're just in the wrong place and you're falsely accused. Sometimes there's a DUI involved. Whatever it is, I'm not going to ask questions, but I will say this. Guilty or innocent, you need to get through the system, and you can't do it without legal representation. Joseph A. Lazzara is someone we highly recommend. Of course, we also recommend you stay out of trouble, too. But Joe Lazzara can help you. When it comes to DUIs, you have so many things to think about. It's the civil case and the criminal case you have to worry about. He can handle both with you and help you through the system. Joseph A. Lazzara. LazzaraLegal.com. That's Lazzara, LazzaraLegal.com. Also on my referral list at referralist.com. He'll always do initial consultations complimentary. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
How do you make sure you get the lowest rates for either a refinance or purchase, or getting the right loan for you and not the one they want to sell you? Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. We have been offering our low rates since 2001. Loan programs to eliminate mortgage insurance and save you hundreds to thousands. Paperless loan application, quick loan pre-approval so your offer is accepted on your dream home. Purchases with only 1% down and no mortgage insurance. Take AIM, 720-895-0500. Get cash out for that home improvement without having to restart your term. Home of the Asset Manager Mortgage, where you can pay off your home in half the time without changing one penny of your spending habits. Call 720-895-0500 to find out how. Take AIM. CFPB stated that the consumer has spent over $13 billion in fees on their mortgage that they may have saved had they shopped. Call us now and start saving. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. NMLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender. Take AIM.
Do you have any friends willing to tell you the hard truth? Well, even they won't tell you that you have ugly blinds in your house. You probably don't even notice them anymore. They don't close right, they're crooked, they're stained, they're embarrassing. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and it's time for brand new custom blinds from Blinds.com, where all of the blinds and shades in my home are from. They make buying blinds, shades, and drapes fun, affordable, and easy. You get a free online design consultation. Just send them pictures of your house, and they'll send back custom recommendations from a professional. They'll even send you free samples, and every order gets free shipping, and their prices are unbeatable. Plus, if you accidentally mismeasure or pick the wrong color, they will remake your blinds for free. They make it all so easy. Now through June 21st, get 20% off site-wide at Blinds.com when you use promo code Ross. Whether it's one room or your whole home, just go to Blinds.com and use promo code Ross for 20% off your entire order. Blinds.com, promo code Ross, rules and restrictions apply.
Father's Day's coming up, and I need some ideas on what we should get Dad. I was thinking a new tie and maybe some shirts.
Mom, now that I'm 16, I think I have a little better understanding of what Dad wants for Father's Day.
Oh, really? And what's that?
So Dad and I drove by Quality Auto Center.
You're a carpet cleaner?
Do a couple different methods.
What do you do?
We do truck-mounted hot water extraction or portable units, and I do what's called encapsulation.
What's that?
It's a method, I think it's been out about 10 years or so. It uses a chemical, you spray it down. It's a clear chemical, you spray it and you scrub it in, and as it scrubs, it cleans, and it absorbs into a polymer.
So
and then you vacuum it out.
Really?
I do mostly, it's designed around residential.
Does it work good?
I strictly do residential. With commercial.
Now, what you spray on it though is it's not a soap.
I don't know exactly what's in it. It's a non-residue.
Is it safe?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It doesn't use much water, so it dries really fast. It's safe because I got chemical sensitivities. That's why I clean organically. Because I can't handle perfumes and stuff.
You've heard of zero res, right? They use an ozonated water basically. It's ozone, is it ozonated? Yeah.
There's something I think
it's ozone. Yeah, I think it's ozone. Ozone, it's spectacular cleaning.
Commercial equipment. At Fitness Gallery, we've been improving
we drink it, but your stuff, when you do the regular hot water extraction, what kind of soap do you use?
I use salts.
Okay.
Like
Salts.
Soaps or salts.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Baking soda, table salt, stuff you can drink around too. I guess. Is
that where the whole industry is going?
It's going green.
Going natural. You know, think about it. Your carpet is a hair filter.
Yeah.
I mean, they say it is, but when you think about it, I don't know how air gets underneath and filters through it, but they say whatever's in the air is going to be caught in the carpet, and it will be.
It's more of a sponge than a filter.
Yeah.
I think it has a positive charge. They say it pulls. It pulls it from the air.
I'm Tom Martino. Paradigm Interiors with us today. I love these guys. I just bought a big carpet from them, and then also we have Shane who dropped by. Shane King. He's with King Organic Carpet Care. He's out of Parker. He does organic carpet cleaning, uses non-chemicals and soaps, and also has a method. This other method, there is a chemical.
I'm fascinated by this method you were talking to us about off the air. It's not the hot water extraction. You do that. But what is this other method you talked about, encapsulation? It's a chemical you spray on the carpet.
You spray on the carpet, yeah, and it's a clear chemical, and it has some of them have some odors to it, but I like a product that has no odor, obviously because people can be.
Now again, you don't. People, if you're saying no, I'm not going to do that. That's fine. I just want to know about it because I think it's remarkable. So it's called encapsulation, and then what does this do? I'm looking it up right here. Encapsulation carpet cleaning. And go ahead.
So basically you spray the product on, and it's water based, and you have a special machine that actually agitates.
Now, when you spray it on, do you leave it there for a few minutes?
You can. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think the agitation really is what does the work.
And then you vacuum it up.
Yeah, when it dries real fast. Usually within depends on the carpet, but usually I'd say a commercial carpet would dry within about half an hour.
Is it a deep cleaning?
Yes. I guess it depends. Well, it depends on if it's a residential carpet. It's not necessarily deep unless you had a.
They say it's
carpet.
A crystallizing polymer. It's like a plastic.
Yeah. So it absorbs in there. It's a non-residue, so that polymer absorbs the dirt. So ideally, you should.
So there is polymer. It's polymer, microscopic polymer that it's almost like tiny little sponges you're putting into the carpet, and then you're vacuuming them up.
Yeah. So have you ever heard of Host or Capture?
No.
That product. Well, it's the same design, but those products I don't like about them is because you got to throw them down on the carpet, and they can stick to the wall, the furniture. I mean, I've had a lot of people. It cleans really well. That type of product cleans really well. But the argument or the complaints that I've heard in the past is, people find it on their furniture. They had those Dyson vacuums, and they like, I keep on vacuuming this stuff up. It's in my vacuum. They don't think you really truly get it all out.
Literally, I'm reading about this. It's kind of cool. This crystal goes on moist and soft. It absorbs dirt. When you agitate it, it'll rub into the carpet and absorb the dirt, and then you vacuum it up in crystals.
Correct. And it cleans. This stuff gets stuff out that the hot water extraction won't at times. It's an amazing
Now, they
product.
claim here the chemicals, because they're encapsulated, they don't absorb into the carpet. There's nothing secreted into the carpet because it is, it's like, I'll give you an analogy, even though this is not maybe that accurate. It's like that stuff you put down on when somebody in school used to throw up and they throw this stuff over it. Or grease spills in a factory or something, they put this powder over it and then they vacuum it up. I don't know, whatever. But encapsulation is kind of like that. Microscopic beads go into the carpet, absorb the dirt and the grime, and then are vacuumed up. And the oils, too, I hear. It's very good for oils. Very interesting. Okay. But anyway, you do regular hot water extraction as well with natural solutions.
Yeah, salt-based.
Okay. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's keep going. Bob wanted to ask about prolotherapy and PRP and STEM. And again, I'm not going to go over it again for those listening. You can always listen to the podcast. And again, I want to remind everyone we're on iHeartRadio. Also, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Dan, is Facebook working again? No? YouTube is. But what happened to Facebook? It wasn't up and running today? No? All right. So people who usually watch on Facebook, I'm getting some emails. They're a little upset, but we are on YouTube. All right. So go ahead, Bob. Do you have any other questions?
I just have one more question. When someone is contemplating either prolotherapy or PRP or the stem cell treatment, which treatment might provide the longest lasting benefits?
Well, theoretically, they're all permanent. They're all permanent because let me explain something. People actually, when they have a sprained ankle or an elbow or a pitcher's arm or something, and they put ice on it, when you have a young person who sprains their shoulder or their elbow or their knee, and you put ice on it, you're immediately stopping God's curing cycle. You're stopping it. You're stopping it because it's meant to swell, it's meant to heat up, and it's meant to drive white blood cells there. And swelling immobilizes it. The heat warms it up and gets it ready for the white blood cells, and the white blood cells clean it, and then the fibroblast cells rebuild it, and it's scar tissue. It never goes away. Now, you can re-injure it again, but it's not going to be that same injury. It's just like if you had a burn and that scar tissue goes over the burn or a blister, you can get another burn or another blister. So it's permanent in that regard. And PRP is the same thing. And then stem cells, once you grow that tissue doesn't dissolve and go away. It's not like you're injecting a filler into your body. You're injecting cells that take on the nature of the cells around them, attach to those cells and grow with those cells. They become part of your body. They become so much part of your body that there's no rejection. Your body does not try to expel the stem cells. They embrace the stem cells. It is a building block of life. That's what a stem cell is. I mean, it's why a fetus can produce everything it needs, because the stem cells know what it needs and where it needs it. I mean, bone, organs, and so on and so forth, muscle, tendons. So that's what, I don't know why it happens. Again, I believe in the miraculous, but a scientist would probably have an explanation. But in any case, they're all permanent. Now, but they all are for different things.
This was most informative and very interesting.
I wish you the best. And did you try any of them?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
Now, let me explain a few things to you. Stem cell therapy uses a very thin gauge needle and is very painless but they can't inject an anesthesia with it. So because it would ruin the stem cells. So it's just straight stem cells. But they numb the skin, not numb it, but freeze it with a spray, and then inject it. I felt no discomfort at all with stem cells. Prolotherapy is another story. They can inject inside the needle, they can inject anesthesia along with the irritant. So they do numb as they go. But I'm telling you that it's the most discomfort, that and PRP. You will feel that needle inside of you. Even though they have some anesthesia in there, you're going to feel it. And then you're going to be extremely sore the next day because that's what it's doing. It is making you sore to heal you, if that makes sense. I wish you the best. 303-713-8255. What's going on with Evan? Evan, what's happening?
I recently bought a truck from a used car dealership, little hole-in-the-wall dealership, and they told me it was in an accident before I bought it. That's fine.
Oh, they did tell you that?
Yeah, so they disclosed that. But recently, when I go do some minor repairs to it, it was a bad accident.
So in other words, they did not tell you the full story is what you believe?
Yes.
Okay, we'll come back to this. This might be a problem, Evan, because they did tell you it was in an accident, and you had every right to check it out completely, and we got to talk about that, okay? And then we have to talk about any warranties or implied warranties. If you're ever in trouble and you need financial fresh starts, Wink and Wink has been doing it for years, Chapter 7s or Chapter 13s. Now listen, you know, bankruptcy is something no one wants. Sometimes it can't be helped. There's a death in the family, unemployment. You might have a divorce, whatever it is. Wink and Wink, they're not going to judge you anywhere. They're going to go through your finances and see if they can do a debt settlement or perhaps a 7 or a 13. A 13 is where you pay back gradually. Give them a call for solid advice. A phone call doesn't mean you have to go through with it. Just talk to them. Free consultations, winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720.
On that stretch downtown. Watch out for stalled vehicles. Southbound 225 approaching Yosemite. Backups to Parker. Off highway, a couple of crashes. One at Quebec under I-70. Another one on Colfax west of 225 as well. The weather forecast. Sunny and breezy today with a mild high of 80. Tonight, clear skies and 52. Right now, a few clouds and 64. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 630 KHOW.
When we say money in time, we mean money when you need it. A Money Tree payday loan up to $700 is quick and easy. Apply online or visit a Money Tree branch. Always use short-term credit responsibly. Money Tree. Your money in time.
I love this story about Mitch. You know, what do you do when you have $300 in your pocket and you come to America and you say, I want to start a business? Well, he went to work for a business and he started to learn the granite business. Then he said,
Best birthday ever!
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide survey of new customers. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Why do I prefer Ideal Home Loans? Let me count the ways. 1, their interest rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years, they refinance you free of lender fees. 2, pick your term. Get your low rates, but you don't have to start over. 5, 10, 13, 18 years.
Here's what they said.
It blocks the, perspiration, I think is the fancy word.
It's comfortable. It smells nice. My girl likes the smell.
Well, it's hard. I think it's quite masculine. My underarms aren't the worst thing at the gym.
It's kind of like the Hoover Dam from my armpits, I guess.
Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant. Tough on sweat, not on skin.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing at 303-761-6400.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
Peru's president is warning of a bloodbath in Venezuela. I thought bloodbaths were about the only way to remove dictators, so maybe the people...
They told me it was in an accident. So
yeah, but when they told you it was in an accident, why didn't you get it checked? Why didn't you get it checked out?
I mean, I did. I didn't take it to a shop, but I have
Well,
friends that are very knowledgeable in this.
well,
we just looked it over there.
Let's put it to you this way. They're out of it completely. You have completely taken responsibility. Once they told you it was in an accident and you admit it, that's all they had to tell you. It was
beyond repair.
What's that?
Even though it's like
you would, yeah, because here's why, Evan. You had the opportunity to find that out. There is absolutely nothing that you can do, in my opinion. They sold it as is and told you it had been in an accident. At that point, you would have found out it was beyond repair if you had it checked. But you didn't. I mean, you see, doesn't it say as is on there or not?
I'm sure it does somewhere in the fine print in there. That's why,
well, here's the problem, Evan. Let's say they was represented. Everything else completely not covered if they say as is. If they simply say it's as is, you have no leg to stand on. And these people were smart. They said, by the way, it's been in an accident, and you knew it was in an accident. You said, I only thought it was a minor accident. It doesn't matter. And in fact, most cases doesn't matter don't matter because you have the opportunity to check them out. The only thing that matters, Evan, is fraud. If it's fraud.
That's what I'm worried about because in the paper that I
but everyone I say that to always tells me it's fraud. So tell me where they were fraudulent.
Well, I guess fraudulent is kind of a big word for
right.
it, but I found a thing that said it was for a total loss, and I asked them if it came with a salvage title because I have a loan on this thing.
What do you mean you signed something as a total loss? What does that mean?
I mean they had to disclaim that the truck was claimed as a total loss.
They told you that?
But it did not have a salvage title because my bank would not loan on a salvage title.
Well, it doesn't. Hold on. I don't know how they did that either. They disclosed to you it was a total loss. Man,
yes.
Well, they did. They went far. I mean, they went far beyond what you could argue is non-disclosure. I mean, they went far beyond that. They were totally open. Now, as far as a salvage title, I mean, what's that?
How would it not have a salvage title?
Yeah, but I don't even understand your argument, Evan. It's moot because you're saying, here's what you're saying. Even though they told me it was a total wreck, they should have had a salvage title to keep my bank from allowing me to do something stupid. That's really what you're saying. My bank would not have loaned on it if it had a salvage title. Well, Evan, okay, so you can't blame them. Well, since they did not have a salvage title, I bought it. They told you it had been a total wreck, whether you have a salvage title or not. You really screwed yourself, Evan. I'm sorry. You really, really did. And I don't know how you're going to get out of it. You're going to have to try to fix it the best you can. All right, we got a lot more to talk about. We have Don Taylor, Matt Butler in the studio, Paradigm Interiors. Then we have Shane King from King Organic Carpet Cleaning. We'll talk about their specialties and more, anything you call about, coming up on the Troubleshooter Show in just a minute.
Do you have any friends willing to tell you the hard truth?
He was really saying, well, yeah, they told me it was a total loss, but it didn't have a salvage title. Therefore, my bank would not have loaned on it had it had a salvage title. He's blaming them that they didn't have a salvage title because then his bank would have prevented him from buying it. Why didn't he prevent himself from buying it? I mean, he knew it was a total loss. I told you. Things like this don't make sense to me when people complain. Why did he think?
Customer recommendations.
And then he sounded shocked when he said it's really bad.
Every order gets free shipping.
It was a total loss.
And he didn't take it professionally. He took it to some friends who were very knowledgeable, but they didn't notice it.
For free. Make it all so easy. Now through June 21st, get 20% off site-wide at blinds.com when you use promo code Ross.
My daughter bought a car, clutch went out within a week, the water pump went out,
percent off your entire order.
because she used a mechanic that she knew, and he didn't catch those things.
I was looking at the vehicle in January, looked great, getting ready to pull the trigger on it, and I took it to to a mechanic, and he looked it over. It cost me $125, and he found out that the tranny's about to take a shit. It cost me $125, but I didn't buy the deal.
It's worth paying someone who really, we learned with that guy, you got to be really careful. Because if you think, especially the clutch, I guess maybe the water pump you really can't always tell, but that clutch you should have been able to,
Drive around the block.
You should have caught it.
Allegedly removing a sign of the late North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il. Tillerson said the U.S. is continuing to free three other Americans who are
You guys own the store?
Yep. Sharon Reed, NBC News Radio.
The Senate Intelligence Committee is getting ready to question Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Sessions expected to testify this afternoon on meetings with Russian officials. The Attorney General recused himself from the Russia investigation because of some undisclosed dealings with Russia. Sessions is also expected to be pressed about his role in the firing of former FBI Director James Comey. Big manhunt in Georgia for two dangerous inmates who police say overpowered and killed two guards.
Investigators say that inmates
Shane?
Johnny Rowe and Ricky
Ted Scott.
murdered the two Department of Corrections.
How you doing? Nice to meet you finally in person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being transported during a
Good, good.
detail early this morning.
Having a good time here?
The inmates
Yeah.
Is this guy leaving you alone?
He's articulate.
Yeah, not get it, not get in. I don't know. You gotta watch out for him.
Usually, he's articulate. Usually you work with illiterate people.
I don't know if that says something about me or not. Won't even go over there.
No, he's not illiterate. I said usually.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The type of people I bring in.
This report is
Anyway,
brought to you by Golf from
nice meeting you. Take care.
Today with a high around 80. Tonight mostly clear with a low of 52. Tomorrow's high 86. Clear today, starting at a high.
Is he from Denver originally?
From championship to
Yeah, I grew up in
layout,
Golden.
Aurora had the golf course
Golden
you'll
High
love.
School.
Ryan Karen from Golf Aurora.
Golden or Golden?
Outstanding customer
Golden.
service,
Golden.
excellent course conditions, and some of the lowest green fees make
Yeah, I've been
playing
here
golf at
almost,
Aurora a must.
almost all
Book your
my
tee
life.
time today at golfaurora.com.
Have you
Don't meet many of your kind.
I'm sorry. Oh, you want me?
Don't meet many natives anymore.
You're an IU?
Clean up that mess.
Yeah, I'm from Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah.
Right
That's
here in
good.
Denver, helping
That's good
clients for
place.
more than 2 decades.
I like Nebraska. My dad grew up in Kansas, but a lot of cousins and stuff from Nebraska.
How complicated handling a simple car accident can be. Hi, I'm John Fuller with Fuller Engineering.
Been there for a while.
I tried again.
You
Let
can't
me
do
see
it?
what yours looks like. Is it
Well, I see. Well, see, no. Mine's the total. Like, say, this is what it comes on. It says offline. So
Okay.
We're doing it different.
Mine, when I get on, just sits there and spins. And so I couldn't add that.
Okay, I sent it to Suzanne, the YouTube thing, to go to YouTube.
Yeah. I wonder if it's something in the buildings. I don't know, but it's not. I didn't do it this morning either.
So I don't know what it is, Tom. We can go on to YouTube and look. We just can't upload anything to it. Facebook, I'm sorry.
There's sure to be one near you. You need to
And Mark was able to upload a little video.
It could be a life-changing experience. 888-628-1899 to register for one of our upcoming seminars. And for information, visit stemcelltherapyforpain.com. I'm Tom Martino. I had stem cell therapy.
I'll tell you one carpet out there that's really good. I've seen a lot of pauses with, and it's Smart Strand. But not the silk. The silk is, I've seen a lot of problems with it. It's called the silk. It's wearing really bad with Holly. But Smart Strand.
Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky from
Small
Friends of
ball.
American Finance.
I got a client,
Super hot Denver market.
knows Tom, is Mark Marcotte. This stuff has that stuff in his
We all
house.
know home values are higher than
It's
they've
one of
ever
my clients.
been. Some people's homes are worth
That fiber is actually it's called
years old.
triexta. So it's not polyurethane. It's not nylon. It's triexta.
Yeah,
That's more like
no, it's not the silk. Because I told people buy the silk or Smart Strand, and they started buying it. And I'm starting to see what's going on with this carpet. I'm not finding out if it's silk.
They've already helped thousands of
It's
customers.
some really soft stuff, like feels like a rabbit.
Basically, oh, it's yeah, but it's starting to.
Start saving as much as
Just after a few
$1,000
short
a
years,
month,
3-4
and you
years,
might
it's
be able to
starting to.
close in as fast as 10
It's
days.
really
Call now,
problematic on the cleaning side. It's really
303-695-7000 or
matting
online
down.
Wonder down. Is it losing twist?
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
No, just matting.
Yeah, I have a client that's up and running, just this high traffic area, just, and then it's what, 4 years old? And it looks like it's 10 or 15.
Sometimes if the carpet pad is too thick,
It's just like it's not clean enough.
oh, it's not clean enough. Oh, not
I
very
mean, I
clean.
thought maybe because it came from the kitchen and it was just greased or something, but it's just the two couple were fighting. And I was putting the solvents, I mean, just trying to scrub it in. I mean, I was
Still not clean up that much.
it didn't really fit, you know, it cleaned to a degree, but it still looked really poor.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's a warranty issue or...
Not after a couple years.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
So I tell people...
I mean, you're looking at 1 year, and that's if you've had hot water extracted, and the warranties on that carpet are so stringent.
Yeah, they maintain it. Yeah, you know, they're doing their 18 or 23 months. I mean, they're on top of things. That's poor. The nylons, and I don't know. I tell people just nylons is the best stuff in the world.
It is.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show where we are solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. I got some guests I'll get to in a minute, and we have all kinds of things to talk about. You dictate what we talk about by calling 303-713-TALK. Here's how the rules go. You call, you tell me what your problem is, your concern, your issue, your sound off, whatever it is, and we try to address it. We have solved problems, everything from career to neighbor versus neighbor to consumer ripoffs to insurance problems. Whatever it is, we take a stab at it. It's better to call and we tell you, well, we don't really handle that, than to not call at all. Okay? That's how it works. It's really the only show of its kind anywhere like it. There's nowhere else that really gets directly involved like this. Let's talk. Let's see what's going on in your life. Mary Lynn, hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on with this neighbor?
Okay, this neighbor is a chain smoker.
Ugh.
She went to one of the meetings that I went to, and she got up and she said, well, I only smoke 12 to 15 cigarettes a day.
It doesn't matter. She smokes.
And that's right.
It doesn't matter.
I just lost my husband in April, but we've been sleeping in our chairs. I have gotten a new mattress.
Why? Is it so disgusting in your bedroom?
That's right.
Well, now, why your bedroom? Is that closest to her?
Yes.
Now, where does the smell come through? The vents?
It comes, well, they plugged up the vents, but it comes through the window.
Who plugged up the vents, dear?
Heather Garden.
What do you mean they plugged up the vents?
They put, you can still smell it.
But wait. What do you do for heat or air if they plugged up your vents?
Oh, not the vents, I'm sorry, the outlets. The outlets.
Ooh.
Yeah, the outlets. What's happening is that now she turns her air conditioner on, and all her air comes into my bedroom.
Oh.
And when I turn my air conditioner on, it pulls it in more.
So listen, have you talked to her?
Oh, you can't talk to her. She thinks it's a big joke. She brings all her
Well,
friends.
smokers don't know that they're a nuisance. If they smoke, they don't care about the odor. You know, there's nothing, in my opinion, worse than having that stale tobacco smell. Oh, God. You know, it's amazing. You can tell when you've been in a hotel room. Do you ever walk in and you know damn well people have smoked? And it's that sickening, sweet tobacco smell?
Mm-hmm.
So, here's the deal. If it's a lawful activity, there's not much you can do about it, even though it's kind of it's a form of nuisance, but I'm not sure what you can do. Now, if it was noise, it would be easy. Even light pollution, people have won on, but the smell thing, I've known of a few cases where people were cooking and they had outrageous smells, but I'm not sure. I just don't know what to tell you because
you know what he told her? I even went through the governor's office.
Well, what's the governor going to do about your neighbor smoking? I mean, come on.
Well, they called the general manager, and he made the remark that nothing can be done unless I sue.
Well, that's true. I mean, think about this. Think about it, Marilyn. What can you do? What would you want? And I want to help you, especially now you're a widow. And when your husband died in April?
Yes, he died of bladder cancer, and you know bladder cancer is caused from cigarette smoke.
So are you saying that she caused your husband's death?
I don't know.
How old was your husband?
80.
Did he live a good life?
He did until she moved in, because we confronted her. We were nice to her.
Yeah.
And then I went over to the HOA meetings.
Yeah.
They said yes. I was even on the non-smoking committee.
Well, do other neighbors notice this?
Oh yeah.
What do they say about it?
You know what? I found out when I was on the non-smoking committee. Seniors do not want to open their mouth up. They're afraid they will hurt their neighbors. I found that out.
Well, yeah, no one really likes complaining. Not really. They don't enjoy it, I don't think.
I've been looking for an attorney.
Well, I can find you an attorney, but I'm not sure what cause of action you would bring. I'm not sure what the actual cause of action would be. It could be... Yeah, I mean, there could be something there. Let's call up Brandon Siglian. He's our tenant landlord attorney, and let's ask what he has to say about this. That would be in his realm. It's that serious to you. Do you own there or rent?
I own.
Does she own?
Yes. If it was a renter, it'd be a different story, but she owns.
Wow.
And she brings all the people in the building that cannot smoke in their units because they're renters, and they come in her unit to smoke.
Really?
And they know my husband was on oxygen, and he was very sick, and they thought it was a big joke.
Oh man, come on. Wow.
Oh yeah, I've heard this from the people that she associates with.
Well,
and so
I don't know. I don't think you hold on. Let's just talk to our attorney when we get him on. Just hold on. God, that's terrible. And you know, smoking just stays around forever. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't know what to tell you. So, we'll see what he says. But I think you might want to consider legal action. Nick, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
What's happening?
So, we have a pretty new home. It was built about 2.5 years ago.
And did you buy it new?
Yes, we bought it brand new.
From who?
From Richmond.
Oh, okay.
So
they used to have a pretty nice product. How are they now?
Well, I like the home. My issue is with the air conditioner.
What's wrong with it?
The compressor went out after only 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's not good. Did it have a warranty?
There is a warranty. My question is, so we can go and get it fixed, but I'm wondering if so the guy who came and worked on it said that the SEER rating was a little too low for the size of our house.
Yeah.
So I know that that's not necessarily regulated, but there are.
Well, no, I mean, no, it's not.
Guidelines. So I'm kind of wondering if you think I had a shot in heck to go after Richmond.
No, I don't think you do, because I don't think there's a standard there that you can go after, and I don't think it was a breach of contract, and I don't think it's a construction defect, and I think it would be. This is just my opinion, way more expensive than it's worth, because now you could ask them, hey, by the way, the air conditioner's out, and somebody said, according to their heat loss calculation or their heat and air calculations, that this is undersized.
Okay.
I mean,
I was thinking more of the small claims route, because the new unit's $6,000.
Okay.
Value of the actual unit.
No,
I mean?
well, hold on now. You can't sue for the whole unit. I mean,
no. I meant like the difference between the unit we have and an upgraded unit, which would be maybe $2-3 grand.
It might be. It might not even be that much.
Right.
Now, what about BTUs? How many BTUs is it? Because SEER is really. This is what I don't understand. He said your SEERs are small. What did he say about your BTUs?
BTUs, I think he said were like 16,000. Is it? I'd have to look on the furnace. I don't remember. It was pretty high though. He said it was really good.
All the SEER does is the efficiency.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not
so I was
it's
a
not
little
the
confused.
size. So I don't even understand why he told you anything about your SEER ratio.
Maybe he wanted a sale. I don't know.
Or SEER ratio is
just mad.
redundant because SEER stands for Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio, and it's the efficiency of money versus time and BTUs versus time. It's an equation basically that gives you a price per kilowatt basically.
And I just have one follow-up question. So is
So let's just get to this one. You have to see if your BTUs are substantial. The SEER rating, that's what you have to see. Okay? They don't owe you any particular SEER at all. They owe, but it would be reasonable. For example, if a unit called for, let's say, 20,000 BTUs and they put in 10,000, you could probably make the argument that it was a defect. But that's what you have to concentrate on first.
Okay.
Okay, next.
So my next and final question is labor for replacing a compressor. It was estimated between 500 and 1,000. Does that sound in a correct?
I would say
ballpark
around
to you?
400 to 500 tops. I don't think up to 1,000. I don't understand why. Now, when you said range, did they actually look at it?
Yeah, they said it needed a new compressor.
No, but why did they give you a range for labor? Because it's a compressor you take off and put a new one back. So why did they give you that wide range?
Well, because I was going to call Goodman, the manufacturer, to put in a warranty claim for the compressor since it's not that old.
Yes. And
then Goodman would obviously pay for the part, but I would still have to pay for the labor. And then he said that would be around $500 to $1,000.
Well, I don't understand the 500 to 1,000. That's double. It's either 500 or 1,000. It shouldn't cost you more than 500.
Okay.
Okay? If that's all they're doing, it shouldn't cost you more than that, especially if it's being supplied. 303-713-8255. Daphne, how are we standing on getting our attorney?
Brendan is not available.
Okay, we got to try to get a hold of him for her, even if we have to do it tomorrow or later in the show. Can you mark that for me and take Marianne's name? Thank you very much. Mark and Suzanne on vacation, well-deserved. That's why Daphne's filling in there. I want to mention something about Father's Day. Rocky's Autos is having a special day, and the Colorado National Speedway. Now, on Saturday from 10 to 1, if you go to Rocky's, 63rd and Federal, you get a free spin of the prize wheel. And you can win tickets to Saturday's Speedway event. They have racing on Father's Day. It's Super Sunday Monster Truck Show and lots of other prizes. So you have tickets to Saturday Speedway Racing or Father's Day Super Sunday Monster Truck Show. So the National Speedway have things going on in conjunction with Rockies. If you go to Rockies at 63rd and Federal, you can spin the wheel for free tickets. You can also get to see the Shagman and shop for a car if you want. They have a giant selection, 63rd and Federal. Now this event on Saturday is from 10 to 1.
I used to be a smoker, even when I was a smoker, I couldn't stand smoke.
Even when you're smoking, you couldn't stand it?
Stop and go either side of
I was actually smoking.
A bit of flying on outbound Pena Boulevard
What a
on the
nasty habit
56th
that
Avenue
is.
could be a possible crash.
You know what's weird about it is?
Westbound I-70 event heavy
It's,
there between Havana and Peoria. Southbound I-25 slow downtown just south of the Mousetrap heading down towards Spear. And northbound I-25 good stop and go between 6 and Colfax. We go to forecast. It's going to be sunny and breezy today with a
No, Alex Jones used to be on my show all the time. I know him. He came to Denver and stayed with me. He's or stayed near where, not with me, but he came to the show and hung out with us. He was on our show, but he's kind of like he was fringe for a while, like really fringe, and seems to be getting more mainstream. I don't know if it's mainstream. It's still wild. I mean, have you ever heard a show?
InfoWars is.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
A lot of people listen to him.
I don't.
But he's outrageous.
I don't listen on a regular basis.
Conspiracies and all about murders, and I mean, he just.
But he backs everything up. Every claim he makes, he's got documentation.
Well, what about Sandy Hook? He said Sandy Hook never happened.
He'll provide documentation for it. I'm sure he wouldn't come on.
Megyn Kelly was just fired from the Sandy Hook thing because she did the interview with Alex Jones.
What do you mean fired?
She was fired. She was supposed to do a Sandy Hook.
She was the
Sandy Hook benefit. She was fired from doing the benefit because she did an Alex Jones interview, and Alex Jones said Sandy Hook was all fake. Never happened.
What does he mean it was fake?
So it never happened.
Now you don't believe stuff like that, do you? You believe
Research it. It'll freak you out.
he believes 9/11 was fake.
Come on. You don't even believe 9/11 was
I didn't say anything about 9/11, but if you read about the Sandy Hook stuff, there's pretty scary data out there.
What is his theory?
His theory is that it was all staged by the government.
Kill kids for what reason? For gun control?
No, it was all fake. There was no killings. It was all just a stage show. Complete production.
For gun control?
Yeah.
So there were 20 kids out there that never had funerals?
No. That's what he said.
I've heard him out calm much, but some of the stuff I think he's pretty far out.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I think he's like, yeah, that can make sense.
Yeah.
I know I was like never on board with a lot of stuff, but since Bush, what are you doing? I mean, what are you saying? You know, you start listening to them and they're saying things like Al Gore and global warming. I'm just so far. I'm not saying things are not happening, but
to pull off a production, I mean, to have everyone in sync where no one is in, who would ever stand by and allow the magnitude of that conspiracy? How many kids were supposedly, how many kids?
20 or 30.
I mean, to have 20 children murdered and have false parents, false funerals, I mean, the vast, it's just the sheer number. You can't control things when it is the truth, let alone faking it. You know what I mean?
So I disagree. I think it's a lot easier to control the message when you're creating it.
No, I'm saying the magnitude of people involved to go along with it. All it would take
20 children, 6 teachers died in Sandy Hook.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to have backstories on every one of them because they've done features on every one of them where they and what they, you know, did you see the profiles they did on the teachers and on the kids? So it would be
it's all part of the story.
Extraordinary to try to even come close to faking something like that. Because, I mean, just the sheer magnitude of people. How would you get everyone in sync to keep that story alive? Or a grieving parent. Are the grieving parents still there? And if so, are they making it up? And did they set them up in residences at Sandy Hook? Or did they all move away? I mean, if I go to that town right now, I'll bet you I can see a group of grieving parents. So then I ask, are they still in on it? Were they in on it? Are they making up that they had kids? And then if they are, I mean, they would have to keep it up the rest of their lives. And they have memorial services. The parents have.
Just take, when you're sitting around the hangar, just bring up the conspiracy theories and read about it. It'll get your brain working. It's pretty interesting.
I don't doubt it's interesting. But I think of the practicality.
Yes, totally.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We're here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. We have some blank lines if you want to call in with anything on your mind. Tony's got a comment about that air conditioning problem where it was underrated. Go ahead, Tony.
Hey, Tom, this is Tony. Hey, I was just actually calling to make a follow-up on that last caller that you had about replacing that compressor.
Yes.
And you said that there shouldn't be more than $400, maybe $500 tops to replace it.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that, and that's the reason why somebody gives a range. Because on a compressor warranty, the customer still has to pay for the Freon, the filter dryers. If the compressor has a burnout, they may have to flush the system. And sometimes they don't know all that until they take the compressor out. And so somebody gives a range like that because there's more to it than just labor and putting the compressor in on cleaning up the system so the compressor doesn't burn out again or stuck, whatever it may be.
Yeah. The average tech makes, and I hear what you're saying, the average tech makes about $400 to install a furnace if you cost it out. So I was just going off of that, $400 for an entire furnace.
Correct.
And so I figured that you know, that's in-house. I mean, in-house cost. If that's really what it boils down to pay your tech, you're paying about $400. But so I'm figuring if you're talking retail on the outside and you're just doing the compressor, that's where I came up with the $400 or $500. Obviously, things can always change, but man, $1,000, that would be pretty hefty labor only. In fact, even if they had to charge the system, we're talking labor only now. Why would it be? Think about that. $1,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, I'm talking about the actual cost. I know if you hire somebody and say, you know, do the compressor, it's going to cost that. But if you have the compressor already and you're just paying somebody to put it in, I mean, do you really believe it could go to $1,000, just the labor?
Absolutely, because Freon is $40 to $50 a pound.
I just asked you, Tony, I'm talking about the labor. We're talking only, that's all we're talking about. So, I mean, I see what you're saying as far as additional costs for sure, but labor is pretty well defined. I mean, let's say they spent the whole day there, 8 hours. How much an hour for a really good tech? How much?
A service company will be charging around maybe $100, $105 an hour.
Yeah, that's a company. What if you hire a laborer, just somebody a tech who knows what they're doing? I would say that
maybe $80 an hour.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. $80. Yeah. So 80 times 8, if you did that, we're looking at $640. That's if you spent the whole day there. So I wasn't including materials in that. So anyway, Tony, you know, I don't mind people giving a range. You know, it's better than that than being surprised, I guess. Max got a suggestion for the woman living next to a smoker, and we're still going to get her back on with a tenant landlord attorney. Because I'm almost convinced that you can sue and win for certain things like noise. One guy sued about lights and won. I told him he didn't have a case, in my opinion. He won. He literally won light pollution case. You can look it up. It was a car dealership polluting his home with light at night. And then, of course, we have smoke, which I don't know if it's ever been to the courts. Go ahead, Mac.
My suggestion would be to have her install a air scrubber. I know they're not cheap and it may be somewhat cumbersome, but it might be cheaper than an attorney. And if you spend a bunch of money and you go to court and you lose, you have nothing. But when you've got an air scrubber,
you know, you're right.
It'll work.
You're right.
Okay, that's all I have.
Well, can you tell me something? Do you mean like a standalone air scrubber where it sits in your unit, you plug it in and turn it on?
Well, I think it'd have to be more of a commercial one if she's that sensitive. So it may be that she'd have to call somebody that does it for restaurants and other type buildings that allow smoke outside. You've been in the outside restaurants where they've got an air scrubber going and people are allowed to smoke and you can't smell it inside.
Wow.
So that would be my suggestion for her. And I do appreciate you. I have used so many of your suggestions down the years. You have no idea.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. We have a lot to talk about. Get your calls in. We have plenty of time. We have open lines for the first time this morning at 303-MARTINO. You can call too, 303. Oh, I don't know. Did you get 303 Martino activated today? Did you? Okay,
yes,
good.
I did.
All right. And 303-713-TALK, of course, 713-8255. We have Don and Matt here from Paradigm. We have Shane here from King Organic Carpet Care. Hey, what's going on with you, Fred?
Well, I've got a improved surface along the front of my property that the city wanted me to have it. I used.
What do you mean an improved surface?
Well, I used recycled asphalt. It's been there a few years.
What is it like? You mean recycled asphalt as in a road base?
Yeah, right.
And where is it? In your driveway?
It's along the road in what was previously grass. It's not in the street.
Okay, so what about it?
I was approached by a fellow in my front yard last week, and he said, working in the area here.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I
would call him a gypsy, except you know what? I got reamed out one time for calling somebody a gypsy because they said that is racist and it's prejudice and it's because apparently they said that a gypsy is an it's a background, ethnic background.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Is it really? Like, from what I've never heard of a gypsy as an ethnic background. But in any case, we used to call them gypsies. They'd come around and they would and now they call them travelers. They come knock on your door.
Yep.
They lie to you. They take your money and run. Now the thing is, I'd like anyone familiar with gypsies, though, to tell me, why is a gypsy a nationality? Well, not so much a nationality and ethnicity.
Well, I think they cruised Western Europe, many years ago, too.
But where do they come from?
They're just wanderers.
Some people tried to tell me, well, it's a derivation of, or they come from Egypt, and that gypsy was. Then somebody else said, no, they're called gypsies because they gyp people, and that was. I've heard so many explanations. Anyway, keep going. So what happened with this guy? You didn't fall for it, did you?
Yeah. I did.
No.
He says, I got this material in my truck, and it's recycled concrete, which I've never heard of before. And he's saying
oh, yeah, it's just crumpled up concrete.
Yeah, and he said, it'll make a lot better surface, and I'll give you a 4-year warranty. There'd be no problem at all. If any problem, you just give me a call. This guy was pretty smooth.
Did he have a pickup truck?
Yeah, with a Texas tag.
Yep. I was going to say it, to either Texas or Oklahoma or so you got an out-of-state guy pushing you some recycled stuff. What happened?
He says, I don't want to have to take it back, one thing or another, and I can lay that down there for you and roll it out, and it'll be a lot better than that recycled asphalt.
Anyway, so what did you pay the guy?
$2,000. He wanted $3,000.
$2,000.
He wanted $3,000.
How much did he dump there for that?
I covered 500 square feet to a depth of about 3 inches. It took him less than an hour.
I'm just going to tell you something. You got ripped off. You really did. I don't even know what to tell you about it. You got ripped off. I don't think. And do you really think we can go after this guy?
I
you
don't know.
paid as much per square foot as you could if you had concrete laid. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know.
All right.
So anyway, he showed up with a tandem, and it was a new one, and I was relieved to see it had a logo on the side, one that I recognized. It said Asphalt Specialties. And so they got with it. And they had a little roller.
Yeah, okay, so I don't have to go through the process. Well, let's get to the important part. Then what?
So he told me $3,000. I said, what? And I said, you're crazy. He said, well, I'll let you have it for $2,000, and I'll leave a guy there. He's watering it down.
Wait, did he tell you about the price afterwards?
Afterwards, yeah.
Wait, so you never asked about the price?
He said $8, and I thought he meant a cubic yard. All
right, hold on a second. I don't know where this story's going. It's scaring me. It's scaring me a little. We got open lines. I'll come right back to him. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm kind of I'm afraid of where this is going. By the way, I want to tell you about Flexident, because right now, by the way, speaking of gypsies, I don't care what you call them. I'll call them gypsies. There are some that do these parking lot repairs. They call themselves paintless dent repair. Please do not do that.
Hey,
in fact,
Tom.
Yes.
My wife is from Poland, and she texted in that gypsies are an ethnic group from Romania.
That's what I hear. That's what I looked in Wikipedia right now. But I want to find out where the gypsy part came in. So anyway, getting back to this thing, the car repairs, don't do any drill and fill ever. Even if you have paint damage, don't do drill and fill, okay? Because that will ruin the value of your car. So if your paint is damaged, insist on replacement parts. But if you don't have paint damage, go to Flexident. These are my guys on the referral list. More than 40 years in business. Nick has been around for 40 years doing this, a master certified technician in paintless dent repair. And here's what I want to tell you about this, okay? You will have less downtime, less costs, beautiful repairs. You won't even know it happened. It'll bring it back to its original finish. Now, you can even do a combination of paintless dent repair on some of the ones that can be done, and then take it to a body shop, and Nick can help you there. 303-619-6273, 619-6273. Look them up, flexidentcolorado.com. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair has a special you can't miss.
If you have
Find.
anything to say, guys, because it really works well when you do that.
Weren't they really big in Hungary?
They're all over Eastern Europe. They're to this day, you'll be sitting in a restaurant and the kids will just come right up to you.
Yeah, so gypsies, it says it's Romanian people, widely known in English speaking by as gypsies, which some people consider to be pejorative. Because pejorative. Who? Okay, tomorrow.
$24,000 for just
From the United States.
Yeah. She said they were door-to-door salesmen largely in Eastern Europe, but not always honest.
So I guess it is.
And Cher had that song. Yeah. Cher, something Cher. She had that Gypsies, Transcend Thieves. She had that song about gypsies. So they lay their money down.
Politically correct.
Yeah. Well, that's where the term gypped. You got gypped.
No, gypped comes from that's pejorative of Japanese.
Really?
Yeah, because the derogatory slang for Japanese people is gypped.
Really? I You mean like if you got gypped, like you screwed me?
You got screwed by Japanese people.
Wow.
I don't think these Japanese were like that, though. I mean, really, I thought they were...
I love sushi, that's all I know.
I've never had a bad experience with anybody Japanese, so...
Ideal Home Loans is regulated by the Division of Real Estate. MLS number 136756. Call 303-867-7000.
In today's world, you can't say anything anymore.
No, I just look at gyp in terms to swindle, or a person who swindles is sometimes perceived as insulting to or by gypsies, since it stereotypes them as swindlers. However, gyp has never been used as a deliberate ethnic slur on people unaware that it is derived from gypsies.
I thought it came from World War II.
I was using it way before that.
Your wife was born and raised in Poland?
Yeah.
All Polish people.
Yeah.
All positive.
Yeah.
They don't stop working. At least the ones I know. It's like, you stop.
Yeah.
I worked with the guy that came in air conditioning for a while, and that guy, he worked 80 hours, 90 hours, he got it.
You gotta meet my brother.
My brother?
You can't do a whole group of people in one
I worked with my father. My brother's, he's an ex-wife, and she was from Poland too. And her father was, oh my gosh, just the same way, just work.
Yeah, that's what my father was.
Like her, I mean, from one of the guys that I worked with, it was, he said a lot of it's because there's just not a lot there. The economy's pretty stressed, or it's just, there's not a lot of work. His brother actually came over. This has been, I'm trying to remember, this has been probably 7, 8 years ago. I think he talked to him, he said his brother came over and worked for about 6 months, he went back. But because he just couldn't find work. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's
a pretty robust economy nowadays. It's the only country in Europe that hasn't had a recession in the past 15 years, Poland.
They honored us by nominating brothers, listing us in the Denver Post as one of the top places to work. They say
they're doing better than,
they're inspired.
I don't know, this guy hasn't gone back, or he's been over here for a long time. 20, I mean,
check us out for
he's
yourself.
been here at least 25 years now. Welcome to Jeff. She had a big heavy accent too.
Hers is pretty good, but her friends in Poland tell her that when she's there, she now has an American accent when she speaks Polish.
This guy, I mean, he's, his accent's so thick. I mean, he never got rid of it.
Yeah. My brother-in-law
swear like that.
He lives here and he's super heavy accent.
5150ZeroResDenver.com. Patented and powered water. You can feel the difference when I walk on my carpets after.
Yeah, well, I looked up gypsies. It doesn't say a derogatory term.
Worry about dangerous toxic.
No, it's not. It's just
it's an ethnic group for
what gyp is. Gyp is gyp. Two gyps got gypped.
In some cases, additional fees may apply. Call now and get really clean carpets with Zero Res. 303-471-5150. Zero Res, the only system that completely
they said they migrated originally from India.
Without residue.
303-451-5150.
That was a few years ago.
From India?
Yeah, that's where gypsies originally came from.
Apparently they're in Brazil too.
Oh, I think, yeah, right. Where they were, get a free plane ticket.
So, I got an email from the Gypsy Anti-Defamation League, the GADL.
And Gaddle says, you better not talk about us. They are from Romania, I guess, originally. Who knows? And I mentioned gypsies only in passing because that's what we used to call them. Now you call them travelers. Travelers who are gypsies. Anyway, 303-713-TALK. Actually, travelers could be from anywhere. I mean, we get a lot of people from Oklahoma during the storms, Texas, and all of that. Let me get to the phones. Feel free to chime in, guests, and we'll talk a little bit about your stuff too. But this floor covering stuff, I mean, this isn't subject, I don't think, to the same scams. You definitely don't have door-to-door. Carpet cleaning, you don't have door-to-door. These scams, I think, you see in the floor covering industry. It's where they, this is what I found, where they undermeasure on purpose to get the job and then tell you, but they do it by the square footage or square yard, and then they tell you this is how much it is, and you're surprised. I've seen also some places where the sample is not what you get. Is that true that they actually make the samples on a sample loom and they're not the same manufacturing process as the actual product?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And that's what I was told, and that you should ask for an actual piece of the carpeting. You guys have actual pieces of carpets too, though, don't you?
Yeah, so in our showroom we have displays that you can come in and pick out what we call the pretty stuff, and you say you pick out XYZ carpet and you want to see an actual sample of it, we'll order it from the mail, and it can either be shipped directly to your house or you can come pick it up at the showroom.
303-713-TALK. What about carpet cleaning? I think the scams I see are the 3 rooms for $29.95 or something, and then you get in there and they upcharge. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I've heard it from. I've never seen it personally, but
Yeah.
from clients that, I've had a few clients that and I usually be from your show or something that would say, I'm tired of getting ripped off.
Right.
I'm tired of these coupon companies.
Right.
Groupon, things
Right.
like that. They're just they're.
And then or they say they're going to stain treat and they don't do anything. They just charge you for it per square foot.
Well,
Because how would you know? They just spray down some clear liquid.
The spray bottle.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
what I've heard.
Yeah.
You need the correct tools to apply that type of stuff too.
How do you guys feel about all of that treatment, the stain treatment? Are most carpets stain guarded right now out of the factory, guys?
These days they are, yeah. Different manufacturers have different names for what they put on it, but it's the same.
Is there any such thing as that where stain proof, where they seal those fibers so well that it's pretty damn near stain proof?
Well, that would lend itself more to the construction of the fiber. You basically got 2 fibers, either solution dyed or non-solution dyed. So the way to view that is
Berber solution dyed.
Well, Berber is
Olefin
a style of carpet.
But
Yeah,
Berber.
but the actual carpet itself, though, can you get it to that point where it won't take on a stain, or it's easier to clean? Have you found certain fibers and stuff, guys?
Yeah, the best way to look at that, to kind of view it in your mind's eye, is to imagine cutting a radish and cutting a carrot. If you cut a carrot, it's orange all the way through. That's solution dyed. Can't be stained. If you cut through a radish, you can see that the color is the red on the outside, but it doesn't go through the yarn itself.
And what is that called? What kind of dyeing is that? It's not solution dyed, right?
No,
It's
not
a certain
solution
type
dyed.
of fabric. It's olefin, which is that's
Mhm.
an olefin base,
Yeah.
which is typically Berber.
Right.
That one's solution dyed. But which nylon,
Solution dyed
nylon's not. That's why they have
solution dyed is basically soaked in the solution. I mean, there's no other, it can't take anything else on because it's all the vacancy is taken by color.
Right, it's made, that's the manufacturing process is how the yarn is made.
And then they seal it, right?
Yeah.
Now, then, do they still offer as options like Scotchgard and stuff?
Some carpets do have Scotchgard.
I mean, do you offer that as an add-on?
Not after the fact, no.
Okay.
We don't.
No, so it's everything's included. So what about when people buy Scotchgard and do it themselves? Guys, there are a lot of carpet cleaners offer that. Is it worth a damn? What do you think?
Oh yeah, I've been doing it 21 years.
You do Scotchgard stuff, and you can see a difference?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it
In the
long enough.
resistance?
The ones that the clients that want it every time, you go back. I mean, you're in and out faster.
Well,
spots. I mean,
that's what I heard. That nothing is permanent. If you do it, you have to do it after cleaning.
Yeah, you clean it first, and then you spray that your Scotch Guard or DuPont or whatever brand you carry, and then it, you know, and it dries. But then once you spill, I've had people spill wine. Most of the time it comes out. I don't have to. You can clean it up with water.
With a treatment. Hey, Fred, let's continue. Okay, so you had this $2,000 recycled asphalt job by this guy that came to your house.
Yeah, I got a signed receipt from him and it says 4-year warranty on it.
It's a 4-year warranty, but what is the warranty for? How do you warrant recycled concrete that's spread on a driveway? What could go wrong with it?
I can't imagine. I don't think anything go right with it. I told him I was
what I'm saying is, how do you warranty gravel?
Well, let's talk about suitability. He said, yeah, I could crawl under there on a creeper and the surface would be flat enough that I could use a creeper. Of course, it's just powder. It's not.
No, it's crap.
Yeah, it's crap.
So I don't think. Anyway, there's a 4-year warranty. What does that mean? What's the name of this guy's company?
Asphalt Specialties out of Henderson.
Is he really with them?
I don't know. It signed Joe Avalos on it, and
What do you want right now?
I want my money back.
Well, I don't think you're going to get it. I mean, I don't think there's a prayer of getting it. Let's call Asphalt Specialists to begin with. Did you call them?
I did, and I can't get past the gal that answers the phone.
Well, let's just find out if this guy works for him. We'll get by. Tell him we want to know, because we want to know whether to sound the alert about asphalt specialists or specialties, DAF, or is this guy some rogue using their stationery or their name? There are people that do that. They use a legit company, but they don't really represent them. So hang on, and we'll figure it out, Fred. But I mean, really, I don't see how you get your money back. He installed it. He did what he said. It sucks as a product, but you could have had the thing paved. I don't even understand what...
No, he didn't do what it said. It's not compacted to where I can use a creeper on it. And he said...
That's not in your contract. I'm positive it's not.
No, it's not.
So hold on. Let's just see what we can do. I hope you can get your money back. Man. Fred, did you pay in cash?
Yeah, I had paid cash. He demanded cash.
Literally cash?
Yeah.
Where'd you get? Did you go to the bank?
Yeah.
God. And wait a minute. And you paid after it was done?
After it was done.
Why'd you pay if you didn't like it?
They just rolled it, and it looked pretty good. It was wet, and I didn't know it dried out the next day, and it obviously wasn't any good.
This sucks. Man, I'm so sorry for you. No, it really, really sucks, because it's just one of those things. I'm telling you, it's going to be almost impossible to get money back. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, I can't say enough about them. Their dedication and knowledge is so important. But the love they have for people, and I mean that, the love they have for people, you can see. They're so exuberant when it comes to helping people, especially those plagued with tinnitus. They have a tinnitus treatment that's considered a permanent solution to eradicate tinnitus. It's called Desincra. They also have hearing aids of all kinds, and some that help with other forms of tinnitus. Desincra can cure about 85% of tinnitus. So here's what I want you to do. Give them a call if you have any hearing problems or tinnitus. And this is the important thing. They will give you free test times or evaluations of the tinnitus treatment and any hearing aid they have. Free, no obligation evaluations. 303-534-0163. 534-0163.
Berber is a style of carpet. It's not a...
I know, yeah. I don't know. I didn't know what you meant either when you said that.
There's a few slow spots in the highway drive.
Yeah, but most Berbers that I see...
A Berber is just...
Most Berbers I see are old.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. Typically, I mean, you see a nylon. You see a nylon, but they're a little bit more of a cheap commercial application. A little bit olfin. Yeah. Like this, probably is sites by olfin. But you do have residential. I had it in my house.
Partly cloudy, breezy, then
it's just that little
loops.
So thicker loops.
Right now, few clouds.
Does that clean better? Does Berber clean better? I thought it was a tougher carpet. No? Berber?
I would buy it.
It's a little bit tougher because it's a closed loop.
Okay.
As opposed to...
That makes sense.
It holds soil, spill.
But
Because it doesn't
animals,
absorb
because
anything.
cat claws and dog claws can get caught in it and pull the air.
It's pretty durable, but it crushes down, it doles out.
Do you have any experience with the light-proof or light-happens carpet?
I don't know what that is.
So it's supposed to be, built as the waterproof carpet with the backing is basically it'll hold water.
Well, the backing, so that.
Yeah, it's almost like a plastic backing. So water, any liquid doesn't go all the way down.
Mark and Suzanne got that. They said they love it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't go in the pad.
The only thing I've heard is the pad. You know, they have that plastic barrier over it. It's for dogs and spills, and that seems to work pretty good. I think. But then again, I don't know. But the other stuff is. So it's
supposed to make it very convenient and easy.
very expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's pricey. I mean, you're looking probably close to $40 a yard.
So it just depends on the grade of carpet too you're buying with.
I think it's to make the lowest. I think the lowest price point.
Did you really get an email from the
like
gypsy?
$38.
Get a what?
Are you serious?
No.
Yeah.
That's kind of good when gypsy organizations.
Yeah, the light-proof, light happens.
They don't listen to radio.
That's really good for busy pets and kids.
That's right. Yeah, that's what it's
I can remember that. I think you guys are smart, so I can send them over your way.
Likewise.
At least if you guys can, because I've talked to some stores before in the past and try to drum up business and stuff, and you talk to some of the people, you're like, man, I'm walking out. Just because I'll ask certain questions, like, they push, I've had a company like, oh yeah, we don't push in polyester. It's like, if you have somebody coming in and want to sell a house, throw that stuff in. If you want it, so but if you want a carpet that's going to last and look good for years, I mean that stuff, I see it, and it looks garbage after. I just cleaned one that's 3 months old because it was making them sick, and the off-gassing was, so I went and cleaned it, and that helps. The clean does it. They'll pull all that of it out. But I was looking at it, I go, this is garbage polyester. She didn't know what it was, but I'm looking at it, and it's wear already after 3 months. I mean, it was just, I'm like, just how that's the nature of the beast with that product. And it was a nice, fairly thick. I've had people, oh, it's good. Wait.
It feels good, it looks good, you put a nice 8-pound pattern there, and it's easy. So.
Yeah, but it's like, because I know, the one guy I used to use, he goes, oh man, I never saw that stuff. Well, but he wants, he's looking for the long-term relationship with his clients. I mean, he was a good businessman, I'll tell you that much. He knew how to treat his clients well. And he was a good guy. Sometimes you just don't get along with everybody, 100%. But
assessment of that case. Personal injury is nothing to fool around about. The other side,
yeah, I need
always try to minimize your stuff. Always try to make.
There's always something new coming out that I don't even. You're like Smart Strand, I was seeing it. I had no clue what it was. Yeah. Until I think one guy told me, I'm like, oh, that's, that stuff wears. Stuff wears so well. But then again, that guy's very, Mike Marcotte, right? Tom, you know that guy, Mike Marcotte? No, no. He told me he knew you. But, I don't know. He said, well, I guess you guys don't know each other very well, but he's very meticulous. This guy, he was like, you walk in this hall and there's much stuff with you. What's that? It's like Dish. He's a big, some executive for what's that? Not Dish itself, but what's the other company that's kind of Satellite. Echo Star. No, he only says good things about you, Tom. So
I don't know. What's his name?
Mike Marcotte.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's going on, and how can we help you? Okay, all you have to do is call to find out. JR has a comment on that air conditioning thing. Go ahead, JR.
Hey, Tom. I talked to you quite a bit, try to give some advice here and there.
Well, thank you.
Guys out.
I do appreciate it.
I'm down in Colorado Springs, standard. I just did one today, actually. Standard compressor for an AC between $300 and $500, average around $400
in labor.
And yep, and that's to evac it, vacuum it down. There's a lot of liability in there, when you're messing around with Freon, especially R22, which is expensive. But just the labor between $300 and $500.
Okay.
The guy with the concrete, I just called my guy that works directly for my company. That stuff runs about $30 a cubic yard. And he would need about 3.5 yards. So he probably had $120 in materials out there that he paid $2,000 for.
Oh,
and then another.
It's a big ripoff.
$800 in labor.
Daphne, did you call Asphalt Specialties? Did you call them, Daph?
I'm down here in Colorado Springs.
Yes, I did.
But,
and they said they are investigating it. It is not that is not the gentleman that works for them. It was not their truck, and they are doing an internal investigation on this right now.
What were you going to say, JR? Thank you, Steph. What were you going to say, JR?
Where I buy all my materials, that's $30 a cubic yard.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, it's a total ripoff.
600 in labor. You would have probably had 750 to 800
total. And that, you know, so Fred, these guys at Asphalt Specialties say they don't know about him.
The gal says, yes, I used to be a truck driver, and I recognized that it was a brand new truck, and she says, yes, that is one of our trucks. And well, Fred, here's the deal. Either he works for them or he doesn't. But, you know, so we're going to find out, okay? I said to her, I think he's got a sideline going here.
Now,
she says, yeah, I think he does too.
Well, who's she?
The gal that answers the phone there.
You said you couldn't get past. Okay, so the girl that answered the phone said that she knew this guy and it was her truck. How did she know? Did she see the truck?
She said she knew the truck.
What do you mean knew the truck? How did you describe the truck?
It's a brand new tandem, and it looked like it'd been on its first job. She says, yeah, it sounds like one of our trucks.
Okay, and did it have a license plate?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't take it.
Okay, and that was the one with the Asphalt Specialties on it?
That's correct, and he had a new roller, and it was a whacker, and I mentioned that it was a brand new roller, too. And I recognized the whacker name. She says, yeah, that sounds like ours.
Okay.
And that's as far as I got.
Okay. Well, we're going to look into it, but even if we find out he works for him, what did he do? He sold you something and you bought it.
But he fraudulently represented it.
No, you can't prove that. Fred, you can't. He can say, look, I sold recycled concrete. That's what it is. He got exactly what I told him he was going to get. I mean, really, I'm trying to make an impression here, Fred, because it's true. You got ripped off, but he did what he said.
He said it was suitable for the use that I needed for, and it was not.
Okay, prove that he said that. He could say, hey, it's a driveway. You can drive on it. No, you know what I mean, Fred. Prove what you're saying. That's what I'm asking you. Go to the contract. Go to the contract. What does the contract say?
Yeah, there's no written contract.
There's no written contract at all?
Just a receipt.
And you paid in cash. Yes, Daphne, what?
I'm looking at the list of employees. His name is not on here, and the receptionist says she feels really, really sorry for Fred.
Yeah.
And she said they are doing an internal investigation.
Well, sure. I mean, because if it was a rogue employee, they might be responsible for him. They might be. But again, you still have to find the crime here. You said it was misrepresented. I believe you, Fred, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be so. You have to prove there was a fraud there, and I don't think you can. I think that we just have to figure out the best way to deal with this if Asphalt Specialties admits that he works there and they take responsibility. You got screwed, man. You overpaid for a piece of junk. Dominic, what's going on? Dominic?
Yeah, hey, Tom.
What's happening?
Okay, I went over to, you know where Denver Bumper used to be, 8th Avenue off of I-25?
Yes.
Well, I went over to drop off some parts, and...
Why don't you hold on and get your thoughts together, because I'm running out of time, Dominic. I'll come right to you next, okay? I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. We got a lot to talk about on the Troubleshooter Show. Pull up a chair and listen, or if you're driving around, have fun. Just give us a call, 303-713-TALK. How do you make sure you get the lowest one?
Okay. I used to. I'm so used to it being in the car.
Okay, I got you on.
Oh!
That wall is getting it. You need more arch in your delivery.
No, you know what? Here's the deal. This overhead thing is the thing. This would be easy, but this is the thing. Now but see, I can't do it consistently.
We got it on video.
Are you a lefty?
appreciate it, so helping it out.
Maybe it's live right now?
Yeah, right, that's live, right. So we're on the internet, but when you're not on the break, then you're on the radio. So now your voice can be, or you can be a little liberal with your how you talk, but
you gotta watch
radio, then you gotta watch.
The plumbing and that, seeing it?
Yes. No, well, if you don't want to see, so that's whatever's over here is what's showing. So you're out there. And then when you talk, it's what you're doing.
And the real estate thing.
Then I throw that up on there. And then when you guys are doing it,
NBC News Radio.
this is
Attorney General Jeff Sessions is set to face
That's
questions from
yours,
the
yeah?
Senate
Yeah.
Intelligence Committee this afternoon.
so
Sessions will
that's why I
testify
just
about
when you
his
talk, otherwise
come out
these are the banners.
When did she interview Alex Jones for her show?
I can look and see how far away.
Sessions will also be asked about his role in the firing of former FBI
I
director.
didn't know. You know everybody.
American College
No, I just can't believe
was serving a 15-year
the listeners
hard
she's
labor
gathered
sentence
with
in
the
North
crazy
Korea.
content.
Coming
So I
home,
just can't believe it.
his
I
parents
just
say he's in
can't
a
believe
coma.
it.
The parents say that they were told by the North Koreans that he caught a case of botulism
Tobacco
trial.
smoke, it's called drifting.
But has had him in a coma ever since. His release was
And
announced
people are
by
really
Secretary of
complaining
State
about it
Rex
around the
Tillerson,
country.
although his condition
What are
is
your
not
legal
known.
options?
Matt Cook reports the University of Virginia
Yeah,
student is set to return to his
I've been in
home in
those units a few
Cincinnati
times.
this evening.
It's crazy. She's inviting her neighbors.
To go smoke.
Smoking.
You guys watch Seinfeld? Remember when Kramer did that? He invited the neighbors over, and then when he sued the tobacco company, he got
Kramer got all his skins all wrinkled, teeth were yellow. Look away, I'm hideous.
That's right. That's what they said. I'm hideous. And then how they settle it? Remember how they settled it?
I let him do the billboard.
They put a billboard right there. They go, Marlboro man.
These tidy whities.
I like the one where he went to took part in a drug study. He had that, or no, was it acting or was it?
Yeah, when they did the acting where he did
Act
gonorrhea.
diseases.
And he
And
did
then
gonorrhea.
the little midget had to act something, and they were.
Little person.
I'm in trouble. The midget gypsy.
You got midget gypsy wrestling at PT's across from our showroom.
They actually have midget wrestling.
Well, it's funny because we found that we were trying to find a place back in 2013, looking all over town, couldn't find anything. And our broker shot us an address for this place we're in now. So immediately I got Google Maps and did a spin around, and went to PT's and said, I had midget wrestling October 26th.
I didn't know that.
10 years ago, they banned there.
I didn't know that.
They're painting the building right now. It's big, bright red.
You have a really good location, really good parking. Just as long as is that construction done?
It seems to just be just going on forever. Well, they had to replace all the electric lines because the current electric, like 2 years ago, was about the size of my thumb. So with all the marijuana grow houses, they had to increase it to 2 wires like this big.
Hey, I got John Davis from Davis Law Firm on for line 1. That's that follow-up for the UC Health thing yesterday, non-hire.
Budget and better efficiency with a 33-point AC checkup from Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. Priced right, but hurry. Spots filling up now, and summer's coming.
Apparently, Megan Kelly is going to interview Alex Jones.
When?
Upcoming. This says upcoming.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Tom Martino on 630 KHAL.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and we got so much to talk about. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Our guest today, we have Paradigm Interiors with us, and also King Organic Carpet Care. Kind of related, huh? Although, of course, Paradigm does more than just carpets. They do all kinds of stuff. They bound me up a big piece of commercial carpet. I love it. 12 by 12, had it bound. And do you have to send that to a separate place to have it bound for area rugs, or is that done at the place?
It's a case-by-case basis. We do have a custom area rug display on a showroom where you can come in and choose whichever carpet you like and have it. We can have it made to basically any shape: ovals, circles, L's, runners.
Cool.
And have it drop shipped to your curb.
Now, when we talk about waterproof carpet, why would somebody want that? Is it literally waterproof?
Yeah, the backing is literally waterproof.
So nothing will go through to the pad?
Right. Can't get through the pad, can't wick through the pad and into your subfloor, so it's much easier to clean up after you have an accident.
Okay, it's easier because it won't keep wicking. It doesn't get soaked, and wicking is a big problem. So, it doesn't, though, make it less susceptible to staining, though, does it, because of that? I mean, I know the fibers are there above the waterproof barrier, but you still have to clean the fibers.
Yeah, well, the fibers are part and parcel to the carpet, so
yeah.
If you clean up your mess, then you're not going to have a stain.
Okay. Have you run across any waterproof carpets? Like with hot water extraction, how would that work, actually? It doesn't go, because with hot water extraction, you want to go down into the pad and come back, right, or not?
No.
No, you don't?
Because you'll ruin the backing. It's it's glued together, so you don't want to get that backing wet. So the concept of this waterproof carpeting is pretty cool. So, but yeah, you only clean the fibers when we do hot water extraction.
It doesn't really shoot.
You're supposed to only clean the water.
Right.
The fiber.
If you drench it too much, it's going to go below.
There's guys out there that do that. That runs it.
303-713-TALK. Does anyone still do shampooing of carpets where that circular motion with the big bonnets?
I think so.
To me, I mean, that's the worst thing you can do to a carpet.
Yeah, that's my understanding, because it's impossible to get up all of the soap residue.
And not only that, but the friction, you're unwinding it so much.
Well, you have to really be careful how you do it.
Now, we have a very interesting case here. By the way, Don Taylor, Matt Butler from Paradigm Interiors, and Shane King from King Organic Carpet Care. Let's keep going. Amy called with an interesting problem that I wanted one of our attorneys to listen to. And John Davis does employment law. He's on our referral list for many, many years. John, I want you to listen to this because I found it very interesting. Amy said she was offered a job. Okay, so she left her job. And they did more than offered her a job. Amy?
Yes.
First you did the application, and then what did you do before they actually offered you the job?
I did the application, and then I went in for the interview, and she said, then I met the doctor, and the next day they said, we want to move forward. We just need your verbal that that's okay to move forward.
And you said yes. Then what?
I said yes. So then they said, well, we have to send you the first step, which is a background check. And they emailed me the form.
And you filled that out?
Emailed the form, yeah, filled that out. And then...
So application first, then background, then what?
Yeah, and then they sent me the welcome letter and the job offer.
Welcome letter and job offer. Okay, then what?
My pay, my position, all that. So
then what? Then what?
Then they sent me all the directions for pre-employment physical.
Did you get a pre-employment physical?
Yes.
Okay, so an application, a background, a welcome and job offer, and then a physical.
Yep. And then at the physical.
Now, was the physical there, doctor?
Yeah, in UC Health.
Okay. Yeah. Then what after the physical?
So then they continued to take, my blood. They gave me vaccines. They set me up with an employee number. They gave me scrubs, and then.
So you actually got uniforms.
Yeah.
Okay.
A short term until I could order my own.
I understand. Then what?
So then, like 3 days before I was going to start, she sent me, in the process of this all, I had like 3 welcome letters. Okay?
I understand, but what did you have to do?
And then 3 days before I was going to start, they sent me my full 2-week training schedule that I was going to do in Loveland, although I was hired for Longmont.
Uh-huh.
And in the process, I had to renew my CPR. So the original. They
require CPR training.
Yeah, and I have it.
I understand. So the CPR training was due to be done on Friday.
No, I was told originally it had to be renewed by the time I started, which was Monday. So I had a class scheduled for Wednesday when we had that big storm.
I understand.
Anyways.
So you had a storm, you couldn't do it Wednesday, so you scheduled to do it Friday.
Friday morning. I went and I got it done. Even though they had already told me that they rescinded, I still sent it Friday morning to them.
So
to say,
you
hey,
did get you got your CPR done Friday.
Yeah.
On Friday. And then what happened?
So, but that Thursday morning, I got a random call from somebody saying the lady that hired me was rescinding my offer because...
Because why?
She couldn't hold my position.
She couldn't hold your position. You weren't asking her to hold your position.
No. And nowhere in the paperwork it said, you know, if you don't complete by this date, you're,
But you were completing on Friday.
Yeah, yeah. So,
so here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. You did the application, the background check, they gave you the job offer, you did a physical with their doctor, they gave you vaccines, they gave you uniforms, they gave you a training schedule, you did your CPR on Friday instead of Wednesday, they called you on Thursday and said, so sad, you no longer have a job.
Yeah, we can't hold your position.
Bottom line. We can't what? Can't hold your position.
Yeah.
Okay.
With no explanation.
I understand that. And then you got upset, and then you tried to get another job. So when did you find out they were saying there's something wrong with your background?
No. So then, like a month and a half later...
Just please go right to it, Amy. What did they say about?
Unemployment said UC Health stated that they had a background check on me that had many offenses that were not applicable by UC Health.
That was the reason they gave you for not hiring you. But your background check was done way back when you did the application.
Yeah, a month ago.
But now...
And they would have never moved forward.
Right. Why would they have done, after the background check, the job offer, the physical, the vaccines, the uniforms, the 2-week training schedule, and then get your CPR? So, John Davis... This sounds terrible. This woman lost. She gave 2 weeks' notice at her prior job. She doesn't have that job, and they rescinded this one. Doesn't it sound unfair?
Yes.
What's different?
But not illegal.
Not illegal. Explain that.
Well, and first, let me step back a little bit. Are there things in your background that would disqualify you? I mean,
nothing in your background, right?
No. I just got a new job that had a very strict background check. And I got the job because I have a clean background.
All right. Well, and as far as why it could take a while, you know, it's possible if they actually sought background information from other states or from municipalities.
But John, let's just say for argument's sake, there's nothing in her background. She just got a stricter job.
Well, and then the legal issue really is this: that there's really nothing that can be done. If you could prove that the employer made fraudulently false statements to you. In other words, they intentionally made statements to you to deceive you to apply for this job, to cause you to apply for a job that didn't exist, or because they hated you and wanted you to quit your other job because they thought that would be a way to punish you for something. You might be able to put together a fraud claim as a tort claim. Although in Colorado, what's called fraudulent inducement, it's a law that's been around for a long time, and it's very limited. It came about years ago when people would come out here for work when the state was developing. But in order to claim that an employer fraudulently induced you to apply or take a job that they didn't have, two components of that exist still in the Colorado law. You either have to move into or out of the state of Colorado, and you have to have quit another job. If you were in the state of Colorado and you quit a job to take another one and then they pulled it out from under you, you have no claim. Or if you weren't in fact working and you lived in Timbuktu and you came here, you're not going to qualify.
So, but I just don't understand how they get away with it.
Well, because there is no law prohibiting it. Now, you could, a person could still make a claim of fraud under what's known as common law, which is that someone has falsely represented a fact to you, that they either recklessly disregarded the truth of that fact, or they lied, or they concealed something that they should have known, to cause you to act reasonably. You relied on the representation, and you suffered harm. It isn't part of the employment law sort of group of laws. It is just a basic fraud principle.
Okay, and they didn't perpetrate a fraud, but man,
lie to
it
you
just
to get
sounds
you to apply.
it just sounds totally crazy.
Well, and that's why I said, yeah, I agree it's unfair and it's unkind and there's something wrong there, but it's not illegal. And of course, I don't write the laws.
No, I know it. I mean, so there's not. She really doesn't have any recourse. People can just be.
Well, and there might be something through unemployment, but as I understand it, she then immediately got offered and took another job, so there's no unemployment issue. If they misrepresented a fact to unemployment to deny her coverage, and she had appealed in a timely fashion, she might have unemployment compensation she could seek, but it doesn't sound like that's what she's looking for.
All right. Do you have any questions, Amy? Because, I mean, he's basically saying, you know, there was no contract, and they didn't do anything, and you didn't lose anything.
Well, this is my problem. I have all the emails that said, yes, I was an employee. My concern is, why would they tell me one thing and then report, which I believe a false background, false information to unemployment?
But first of all, how did that harm you?
I was out of work for over a month.
No, how did it harm you that they reported that about your background? How did that harm you?
Because it's untrue.
How did it harm you? What damages do you have as a result of them saying that about your background?
Unable to get any employment with UC Health?
No, they didn't. Listen, Amy, listen, I think it sucks what happened to you, but you're stretching it. You don't have any loss. Now, what about that month she was unemployed, waiting for this, John?
Well, I gather she applied for unemployment and they turned her down because of what the employer said. And
well, they turned her down because she quit her previous job to take a new job.
And that triggers an appeal right if they turned it down. If you then filed an appeal of that, did you do that?
Yeah, she did.
And what happened in the appeal?
They're investigating it.
Okay, so she does have the ability to. Well, they don't normally do much investigation, but she does have the ability. The appeal of the denial of benefits is still alive, and I assume that they will issue an opinion.
What if they don't pay her unemployment? Can she say, look, the only reason I left my job was for the promise of a new one, and you promised me, and then you took it away?
Unfortunately, it's not recognized as a valid claim in Colorado. But, but she can try to get that 1 month of unemployment benefits, and she should pursue it, because if she actually gets to a hearing, then they're going to have to come and they're going to have to explain this and document what they said, and she should at least call them to task for it.
Amy, that's a good point.
And if they made a misrepresentation, if they lied on a state of Colorado unemployment form, then there may be some, it's not going to help her per se.
That is a good idea.
Repercussions.
You take it, that's a great idea, John Davis, because you take it through to the hearing, Amy, and they can't just ignore that hearing. Oh, they can if they want to just pay the benefit. They cannot show. That happens sometimes. And then you get your money. But right now, that's the best course of action. John Davis, thank you. He's on our referral list at referralist.com, 303-708-1842. Speaking of my referral list, let's talk about Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, you've heard me say over and over and over that Ideal Home Loans has the right loan for you. Let's just talk 1 minute about the pre-approval, and that's exactly what it is. You know, a lot of people say I'm pre-qualified. That means based on what you told the company, they qualify you. Ideal does what's called a pre-approval. They literally underwrite the loan. In other words, they say, yes, you can get this. If the house appraises for this or more, this is the loan you qualify for, or less. So you know exactly what you can borrow. When you make an offer, it's like a cash deal. It's that simple. And I suggest you do it with Ideal Home Loans immediately so you can stand out in this really competitive housing market. When you hand them a letter and an offer, it says, I'm already financed, already done. 3 weeks or less, 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000. And speaking of real estate, if you're going out shopping, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, or especially if you want to list a home, yeah, it's a hot market, but that doesn't mean that houses give you the best deals simply because it's a hot market. You need someone who knows how to work that market. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. His exclusive patented, I don't say patented really, I'm just kidding, but he has this exclusive price bracketing procedure that he can do to get the most for your house. He doesn't list it high and then come down and show weakness. He lists it lower to get multiple offers and then works his negotiation magic. He shows you statistically where the homes he lists sell faster and for more money than the market average. 303-920-1622.
This report is brought to you by Alaska Seafood.
I-25 downtown, northbound.
What's this rebates question?
Northbound I-25, stop and go.
Maybe a non person like manufacturer rebate.
Or
Mohawk or
southbound 225.
Man, that woman with the job, what a terrible.
Especially for a company like UC Health. I can see a little company.
It was a high of 80 tonight.
That's a bad reputation to get that out.
A low of 52. Tomorrow, sunny and nice. A high near.
Wouldn't you be upset if
right
you
now,
left your
sunny
job?
I think there's an individual that's screwed up there.
15.
And then employment and HR.
I gotta do a quick spot here.
Real wild Alaska salmon tonight. So fun, healthy, and delicious. Your water in 5. And your tips at wildalaskaseafood.com.
You know, water filtration is one of the areas of ripoffs that I hear all the time. Over the years, water purification, water filtration, water softening have been major ripoffs. That's why I love to introduce you to Pure Water Choices, the best in the industry. Why? Simply because the owner, Al, is a master plumber, not a master BSer. A master plumber, and he knows his stuff. He will talk to you straightforward about whole house filtration or point of use filtration. It's that easy. And he can show you why the filtration systems he has are better. Did you know that even through public water supplies, there are still many things in your water, like trace amounts of medications and sediment and metals and other materials? You might be environmentally sensitive or just not like the taste. Not only do you get better drinking water, but better water to bathe in and to use for your entire home. You can even go water softening if you want. He knows all about that too. And water filtration, whole house or point of use, and any other treatment you've heard about. Check with him first rather than get caught up in the hype. He has great value, great prices, and most importantly, the truth. PureWaterChoices.com. 720-219-7818. 720-219-7818.
Experian gives you the tools you need to protect yourself from identity theft.
Fastest growing crime in America. Experian monitors the dark web, including more than 600,000 illegal sites where your information might be traded by thieves right now. Get dedicated U.S.-based agents to help you fight ID theft. You're always going to talk to the same agent, too. All of those tools at your disposal, plus up to $1 million in ID theft insurance, are yours for free for 30 days by simply going to Experian.com/protect.
Bringing you real reaction and real opinion about real and fake news. Today, we'll get back to real news.
So Megyn Kelly interviews on June 18th, Sunday night, is when she interviews at Alex Jones. Apparently she's got a Sunday night show.
Got nothing in my brain.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Wow. Let's talk. You know, Dominic, I didn't forget about you.
Hey.
There you go now. Dominic, go ahead.
Did you fall asleep?
No, I'm sorry, man. You know what? I got caught up in the other one because I had the attorney. I had to get him on. So go ahead.
Okay. So I had to go down by where Denver bumper used to be to drop off some parts.
Mm-hmm.
I had the windows up, the air conditioner on, and I made a U-turn. And I had to go right there, across from there.
Yeah.
I got so high as a kite, it's unbelievable.
What?
Growing skunk weed.
Did you really get... No, you didn't really get high, though, right?
I'm telling you, yes. I'm telling you. Any of your listeners, go on down there.
Wait a minute. You got high from just being around there?
I'm telling you.
Now, so what's the point?
The point is, where the hell's the enforcement? What if somebody got high, was down there for 10 minutes, went on the highway and got killed.
Dominic, you're not kidding. You literally got high.
Tom, drive by there.
Okay, where is it? I'm going to. There'll be a whole bunch of people going.
8th Avenue, I-25. Get off the 8th Avenue exit, go across the light. It's right there on your right-hand side. 4 big grow houses.
And where do you get high? You just stand outside?
That's all you need.
Come on, man.
I had the windows
first of all, the growing, the what you're smelling are plants, and you can't get high from smelling plants. It's got to be ingested, burned. Like a cigarette. They're not smoking over there, are they?
Tom, you can get high from it.
No, I'm not. Go ahead.
You can get high from it.
Are you? Listen. Okay, well, I'm going to really have somebody check it out. I really mean that. But are you sure it wasn't, Dominic, to get high on that, you get off on the 8th Avenue exit and go west, and it's right on your right?
No.
What?
Get off the 8th, as you're going north on I-25,
right.
Get off.
Well, or go south, you get off on 8th, right?
Yeah, and you go across the light, just on your right-hand side.
Okay, so you're going to go west.
Yeah, it's on 8th Avenue.
On your right side.
No, you're not going west. You're going north.
You're going north on I-25. When you get off on 8th, which way do you go on 8th?
Correct. And you go across the light.
Which way do you go on 8th?
You're going straight.
Okay. All right, Dominic. I'll wait till you're not high anymore. What I'm trying to say is, when you get off on 8th, does it only go in one direction?
I think he's talking about when you get off there, you go straight across, past 8th Avenue, and it goes back up on the highway. If I remember right, I've driven that a number of times. I've been by there. I've never been high, but.
Yeah. So I just I want somebody to drive by there. Those big grow houses. First of all, you don't get high from smelling plants. Anyway, Troy's got a question for Paradigm Interiors. Go ahead, Troy.
Hi, Tom. I'm literally installing an LVT floor right as we speak.
I love that stuff.
Me too. So I'm an installer up in Boulder County, and I've got all of my own clients. I don't have a showroom, so what I typically do is ask them to go down to some of the competitors that Paradigm probably knows are right up the street off of Mississippi.
You ought to just send them to Paradigm, work out a deal with them, and then you just install it. These guys are great. You'd love them. Anyway, what happened?
Troy, come on down.
What happened? Go ahead.
If they offer rebates for people like me that do outside sales, basically.
Do you mean like a commission or finder's fee or what?
Yeah, like I sent these people down. They spent $2,000. I got $200 as a rebate.
Come on down. Let's talk about it.
I'm sure they can work something out. I mean, they have a cost of sales, I'm sure, no matter how they do it, right? Whether it's in-house or out. I've always said when people bring you sales, you should always reward them. Of course, where it's legal. In some industries, it's not legal, like healthcare. But where people bring you business, I think it's smart because, you always pay cost of sales anyway. So if you don't have a salesperson in a job, use some of the money to keep people happy. And I'll tell you what, Troy, you'd love it because they can get anything you want. They get it quickly, and they love working like that with guys like you.
Installations like glue for the LVT. It's a one-stop shop, or
you guys, can you supply everything, guys? I'm sure you can.
Sure can, yeah.
All right, I'm going to be down soon.
Okay, you ought to go see him, really. I think you'll like him, Troy.
Give us a couple hours to get back to the shop, but we'd love to meet you.
Yeah, seriously. When you go on Evans, west, by the way, Dominic, that's towards the mountains. When you're going west on Evans, on your right-hand side, it'll be over there, right on the corner of Pecos and Evans. A lot of people don't think of Pecos being down that far south, but it is, Pecos and Evans. So it's right past Santa Fe as you're going west. 303-713-TALK. Okay. Lacey, what's happening with you, Lacey?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, so I don't know if you remember or not, but I had Alpha do my home. Sorry. They did my home, and then EIS came out, and we were on the radio. He said it was done incorrectly.
Yeah.
So I did take Alpha Roofing to court. Their jurisdiction is in Denver, so I've had to drive up there a few times.
Now, Lacey, you sued them in Denver?
Yes, that's where I was told I had to do so.
Huh.
Because that's their jurisdiction.
Okay,
I
but they did the job. But they did the job on your house. I think you could have sued them there. But anyway, you went and sued them for a bad job, right?
Correct.
And what happened?
So while we were in court, the first time around, the judge was like, "Do you want some more time to get these phone calls transcripted?" I was like, "Yes." So then we went back. I had them transcripted.
Why'd you have them transcribed, first of all? Why?
He said, well, the clerk was like, get them transcripted. And that
But
way
Lacey,
it's a hard
what was the
copy.
purpose of the phone calls in your evidence? What was the purpose? What did they show?
Because they would never get back to me on email. So I couldn't get anything in writing or anything like that. So like, okay.
So, Lacey, how long ago did they do the roof, by the way?
They did it December 10th.
They did it December 10th. I remember you calling us and saying it was a bad job. Why did you what first tipped you off that it was a bad job?
Because the shingles were just like all flapped up. They were crooked. It
Okay,
wasn't cut
hold
right.
on, because I want to hear your story. I need to know what happened when you went to court. This is very interesting. I'm very curious. Bruce has a quick comment. Are you near those grow houses on 8th?
Oh, I have been. I'm down off of, I'm a little south of there right now. I was a common man a few months ago with you, Tom.
Well, Bruce.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell me now, did you ever get high driving past there?
No. If you were growing tomatoes, it would smell like tomatoes. If you're growing flowers, it'll smell like flowers.
I know. I know
you
it.
You can't get high off of it.
I don't think, there's no way you can, just like smelling liquor.
And that is correct. And then also there are so many little grow houses going on in that area. I'll say there's probably 10 or 12 commercial grow.
Wow. I'll tell you what, this whole state is, we're becoming famous. We really are. Becoming famous for marijuana. People are vacationing here because of it. People are skiing here because of it. What do you think? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk about Pro Auto Care and Alaramas, because I love that place. I get my car serviced there, and you can too. And what I love about them is, well, there's two main things. One, the reminders to tell you when things are due on your car based on your VIN number and based on their records. It's great. It's like having a mother or father saying, get your oil changed. The other thing I love, and this is really good, is virtually between every single service, I have roadside assistance free of charge. That's right. Even if you only have one job done with Al, he'll give you 3 years, 36,000-mile roadside assistance, complimentary. And I've actually used it. So if you go there regularly, you're always protected. That's Pro Auto Care, 2 locations, near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles and Santa Fe. Go to the website, check them out, or simply drop by. Give them a call, 303-PRO-AUTO, and the website is 303proauto.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
A couple of big
slow spots in the Highway Drive downtown, northbound I-25, stop and go, north of Alameda, heading up.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm telling you.
It's telling you. Get off. If you're going north, if you get off on 8th Avenue, that exit, you have to go across the street. Because I know there's that bumper place. You didn't know how to. I didn't know there was grow houses down there. I never smelled it. Really? It sounds like a. I just looked it up. Oh, you get high. You thought it was already high. Actually, he calls a lot. Oh, does he? Yeah, like, he does. Oh, that guy does? Yeah, the Dominic. Yeah. Well, I say a lot. Every couple months he'll call. I mean, he's got.
You can smell right outside our.
Oh, our doors. I don't like it. Some people like it. I don't like it. But what's called terpenes is the odor that's given off. And you can't, definitely can't get high.
Learn more. You know where that Dordanos used to be? That flower, that old flower place on West End. What's that cross street where Dordanos is? You drive past that place at night, and it used to be literally like a flower grow place, and it's just all lit up and did the ceiling, so it's like fiberglass, but it just looks all glowing at night.
So what they had everything rented, downtown, whatever, all the houses, and now they're so efficient at growing you know, they don't need as big a space anymore. So I guess there's a lot of the warehouses that are opening up, and people are getting cheaper ones outside of town now. They're actually building so cheaper than they can rent, and then they're going to do it more efficient with solar and all that. So I think it's going to open up warehouses.
Just think some of those farmers out there with all that land.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. A lot of extra money.
And they can put, you know, new building, solar panels and stuff, you know, electrical, cheaper and stuff. So,
by going into Coors Field to experience the thrill of Colorado Rockies baseball. The San Francisco Giants come to town this Thursday through Father's Day, so you have.
Because you guys have been in your place for a while before marijuana, right? You didn't have it.
Right when it's just right before it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got really lucky.
You heard that from other companies
I bet there's
help taxpayers
probably 5 or 6
$1,000 at least.
So you can tell when they're flowering and everything.
Oh, yeah. So you turn off a
Telling you.
Turn off a Santa Fe and start heading.
Telling you, it reeks.
It reeks. I'm high, Tom. I'm high. He's having a flashback.
Yesterday.
They'll still charge your wages.
Yesterday.
As it's telling me, he calls every couple months.
Well, he used to call every week at least.
To qualify, we may even be able to reduce your tax debt down to a small.
I can see where some get a headache from it.
So don't wait until the IRS seizes your property and garnishes your wages. Call 800-506-0552 and get your tax problem resolved once and for all. That number again is 800.
And then there'll be a lot of people just sitting down there and be, you know, just sitting there trying to get high for free. Yeah, they probably will at some point.
What's going on?
Martha, let's go down. Let's get a couple bag of chips.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome. The only show of its kind anywhere. Tell a friend about it. We love helping people. That's the whole message that I've lived my life doing. You help others, and you're rewarded for it. Even if you're not, it's fun. Lacey called us for help, and we didn't help her directly, but well, actually, did we send one of our experts out, didn't we, Lacey? And what did our experts say about your roof job? And these guys they didn't do anything for you, did they? No, I mean the other guys didn't do anything for you. The original roofer, they wouldn't fix it. You mean, what's illegal? Advertising without a license? Oh, so Lacey, you took him to court in Denver, small claims court, right? And tell me what happened. Then he made you transcribe telephone records, and then what? All I want to know is, what did the judge do? Did you get any money or what? Oh, by the way, did Alpha Roofing even show up? You mean the judge didn't even do a ruling yet? Yeah, but what you should now, here's what I want to explain, and this is for anyone defending themselves or prosecuting themselves. If you're prosecuting someone or going after someone, you should always keep it simple, and you should always drive home your strongest points. Your strongest point, Lacey, wasn't that they're unlicensed. Unlicensed, you know, if they did a great job, there's no loss. Your biggest argument was having those professionals say that your roof was defective. And that's a breach. That's a breach of contract. Good. And what difference does it make? It shouldn't blow off like that. Your neighbors didn't. So we don't know what's going to happen until when? July 24th, that's more than a month away. I don't even understand that. I hope this guy, listen, I'm wondering though, even if you get a judgment, if these clowns will pay. What were you asking for? How much are you asking for? Did you, Lacey, did you get it redone, by the way? Good. All right. Man, I hope you win. I just can't believe Alpha Roofing would fight her. Lacey, what defense did they have? Why, by the way, what defense did they have? He said the roof is not defective. How did he counteract what EIS said? Oh, man. Anyway, let us know how it goes, please. You know, that's the thing, guys. When you're in business, have you guys ever fixed anything that you knew was not wrong? Have you ever done anything like that? Do you ever? Have you ever, like, somebody complained about something, and you knew it was either like that or you didn't do it or anything, but you just took care of it anyway? Have you ever done that?
I'm not really following what you mean.
Okay, let's say you did a carpet, and somebody complained about the threshold in the other room, and that threshold you didn't even touch. You didn't even touch it. You weren't even there. It was another part of the house. Or you did, you put a carpet in, and there was, I don't know, something wrong with the baseboard, and they said you did it. You know, something like that. Have you ever just done it just to do it?
Just to kind of add value and make the problem go away? Absolutely, yeah.
Now, how do you do that? Because I've often tell people, if you have a cost per lead, let's say, to get someone near your store, I don't know what it is, we don't want to talk about it, but let's say it's $75 per closed customer, or 100 or 200, whatever. Not to get in your store, but per closed customer. If you pay $200 in advertising for every customer that buys something, or $100, some attorneys pay as much as $500 to get a client. If you pay X amount of dollars to get a client, isn't it wise to turn that client into a billboard and to pay at least that much just for that reason?
Absolutely.
Because you know you'll get at least one lead from it. So everyone should know their average cost per lead. I'm not asking you how much it is. I'm asking if you know what it is. Do you know what your average cost per lead is?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Do you know what it is over at carpet cleaning here, Shane? Your average. You don't have to say what it is, but have you ever calculated it?
I haven't.
Everyone in business absolutely do that. That's what I want you to do. I want you to figure out what your average cost per lead is, and then use that as a slush fund to get things fixed. That doesn't mean you always have to do it. But that should be done without thinking, if it will make a problem go away. Now, beyond that, then you have to use more reason. And always, when you do it, hi Wes, when you do it, convert people. Don't just do it, but let them know you're doing it, you love doing it, and why you're doing it. Not because you feel guilty, not because you think you did wrong, but you want to you just want them to be happy. Wes, what's going on? Yeah.
And when I think it was 2014 or 13 when all the marijuana shops started popping up.
Oh yeah.
We would have to go in to give them their certificate of occupancy.
Yeah.
and we would be, I would be in there 30, 40 minutes at a time, and I never got high off of it. The only time, and I was going to say, it would get so stinky sometimes, too, that when I would go back to the web building, I walk through it all, give me a hard time because they could smell me.
That stuff, I'll tell you what, that odor does stick to you, man. It really does. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's when they're, is what I noticed is whenever they were cutting it up to package it, that's when it really got strong.
Those
when you
oils.
Walked in, it didn't bother me, but when the oil was coming out of the leaves, then it would, like I said, when I'd walk in to do my paperwork at the end of the day, the coworkers would all give me a hard time.
Now, what does a zoning inspector do?
Basically, we come in at the beginning and
you make sure everything is to code, not to code, but into the setbacks and stuff like that.
Correct. Your setbacks have to be so far away, and then at the end we're the last ones in to your certificate of occupancy. We make sure that you're within the bulk plane.
Yeah.
For your height of your building, and just make sure your site inspection is placed. Everything's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then the other part of that is you get lumped into neighborhood inspection. So sometimes you have to be a little bit of neighborhood police.
Yep.
If somebody's yard's too long, we get called. If neighbors call and complain, we go over and give them a warning.
I'll bet you get a lot of neighbor versus neighbor, don't you?
Oh,
Doesn't that suck?
Probably. When I started, it was. I don't do it anymore, but that was 90% of the job. And then when the construction boom took off, then we started doing a lot more construction in town. But
I know
construction was slow. It was all just neighbor complaints. Yeah.
Yep, neighbor versus neighbor. That's such a big deal. Do you know what, though? I've said this before, and I'll say it again because it's true. If you have a bad neighbor, it can ruin your whole happiness in life, because home is your sanctuary. Coming home from work or getting up late on a Saturday, having coffee, sitting around, watching the neighborhood, sitting on your porch, walking around. If you have a neighbor who is nasty, I mean really nasty, mean, violent, snobby, jerk, whatever, it can ruin that whole atmosphere. That happened to me once a long time ago, and I vowed I will never, ever move in intentionally into a neighborhood without first getting to know who is in that area, because it can ruin everything. I'm serious. It's a bummer. All right. I'll tell you, nowadays, you're going to be getting a lot of people trying to sell you air conditioning because it's going to get hot. And when that happens, I want to tell you something. You either buy it for two reasons. One, to upgrade, or you don't have it and you want it. Or two, you have something broken. Whatever it is, free second opinions from Plumline Services. When I say that, people say, well, they just want to shut up my business. Of course they do. That's a good thing, by the way. But here's the other good thing. They will tell you if you really need it or not. So if someone tells you you need a water heater, a furnace, an air conditioner, a panel change, with your electrical panel, or service upgrade or whatever, or especially with drains, because they have their own drain division at Plumline, unlike most companies. If you're told something is bad, dangerous, you need to get it done, get a free second opinion from Plumline with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. First, they will tell you if you need it or not. They will tell you if you're paying a fair price. They will take a shot at the business as well, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's a great service, and you have nothing to lose because it's a free second opinion. All major repairs. And don't forget, $39.95 will it's $39 flat. $39 will get your entire air conditioning up and running for the season, and they'll check all of the major systems and get you a written diagnostic if anything is wrong. And if they don't say it's wrong, and if they take care of it, that's a no breakdown guarantee. 303-586-1086, 586-1086, plumlineservices.com.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
Fuse 4 5 thoughts on the drive across town, but no stalls or accidents being reported at this time. That's good news, but northbound I-25 is still slow downtown, approaching Alameda, and it doesn't really let up until you get north of the I-70 interchange. Westbound I-270 slow on the approach to Vasquez, backups to I-70, southbound 225, slow in that typical spot between Parker and I-25. The weather forecast, sunny and breezy today with a mild high of 80. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, a low of 52. Tomorrow, sunny and nice, a high near 86. Tomorrow night,
looking to expand, or?
and a low of 53. Right now, sunny skies and 72 in Denver.
I've had employees.
Weather. I'm Pete Wax. 630 K.
It's tough to me. I just had a
Farmers Insurance has over 89 years of knowledge and
I
experience.
should, I don't
Protect
know.
what's important to you. Learn more at farmers.com.
You're right.
Having a job all those years and working with other people, it's just like, you're lucky to find
How long have you
someone.
had your company?
For either a refinance or purchase.
I started at 2000.
You and not the one they want to sell you. Take aim.
How many claims you do a week? You went through the rough time.
I'm sorry?
How many claims you do a week?
Since 2001.
Really, I mean, yeah, now we are, our seasons usually start in March, May.
Pre-approval so your offer is accepted on your dream home.
It depends on the year, but sometimes August can be really good, or it can be kind of slow. Holidays are always really good, but I don't know, I could, just depends on the size of the job, I could do a minimum of 1 a day, 1 2 a day. Just say an average job, I can do 2 a day. And you move all the furniture, you take care of all that, or how do you work that? Yes, well, I mean, they take care of the small stuff, I'll move couches, nothing too big, nothing massive.
Affordable interest mortgage. 720-895-0500. And the last 298-191 regulated by DORA, equal credit lender. Take aim.
I think it is
It's too hard on the body now, getting too old.
and your family
Really,
security
it's kind
that
of,
we vet anybody
that's why it's like either I
anywhere into this country.
continue with this business or
Today at 1 on
move to something.
Talk Station
Let's do so.
630 KDOW.
But I like that.
It's another
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. Yes, Paradigm Interiors, when they're not here, Paradigm Interiors can be found on my referral list. You can also call them at 303-630-9204. They're fast and efficient and convenient. 303-630-9204. Shane King Organic Carpet Care. They're new on my referral list. We really like the reviews they're getting. 720-529-0804. Hi, Margaret. What's going on?
Hi, this is a praise, Tom. It's kind of overdue, but I just, I had a company called Summit Heating and Air, and I've had them help me with different things through the years, but nothing ever very big. And a year ago last fall, a house I have where a family member lives, the furnace went out, and so they replaced it for me. Well, the next spring, it just wasn't right. And without any discussion, whatever, they went ahead and just replaced it again.
Wow, that is pretty good.
And I just think they're great.
Well, thank you.
I'm late with this recommendation, but I just wanted to praise them.
Did you ever do you go online and do reviews?
I suppose I could. I didn't even think of that. Sure,
You
I
should,
could
yeah.
do that. Yeah, I will.
Reviews are good. Unfortunately, the review system is not reliable. It just isn't. I mean, yeah, if you have a lot of positive reviews, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, you can see that. But the negative ones, you don't know if they're true or not. Even the positive ones, you don't know, especially the negative, though. We have found so many cases where people slam their competition or they just lie. And customers sometimes blackmail businesses. We've had actual businesses where they were told, hey, if you want a good review, give me a discount. Have you ever been hit up like that ever, guys? Ever? Have you ever been told anything about reviews? Ever been bribed?
I haven't, but I had a review on Yelp. Yelp has been very unreliable. Just throw it out there. I don't know if I can get in trouble that way.
No, you can't get in trouble. You give your opinion, and I'll tell you why. Yelp literally will hold back positive reviews and negative ones.
That's what's happened to me.
They'll hold them back if you get too many because they suspect them. And if go ahead, Daff.
Oh, no, I just have something on gypsies that somebody called about.
Okay. Yeah, what is it? Go ahead.
So this gentleman, Jan, called, and he said that gypsies actually come all the way back from Alexander the Great. They came from India, and then they scattered across all of Europe.
Now, that's what Deputy Dan said, something about India. I didn't know they had anything to do with India. But there's so many different stories of origin on the Internet. So getting back to reviews, Yelp will literally hold back positive and negative sometimes. Now here's the negative ones they hold back, and I agree with it. If they're personal or vulgar, or they don't have to do with the business, you know, so and so smelled bad, or he cheats on his wife, or he's no good, or stuff like that. The positive ones, there's no rhyme or reason. Why are yours being held back?
I don't know. I talked to them. I kind of feel that it's because I don't pay them the $400 or whatever they wanted a month or a year.
They told the other guy, if you want more control over your reviews, you can advertise with us.
I think that's what it is. Because what they say when they are saying that, you know, if they don't know the customer, that's
right.
Because I understand that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, but if they're new and they go on just to get a good review, what's wrong with that?
That's nothing. But I've had a client that's out in Parker, and she gave me a great review. They held it back. They put it in, you know, we can't really see it. It's still there, but you're not seeing it unless you do a little more searching on the site. And I went on there, and she has a lot of reviews on Yelp. I mean, she consistently, that's what she uses.
What did they actually block it, or did they just hide it?
Well, they kind of, you have to scroll down, and then there's like more reviews, an icon.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
well,
I'm
talking about totally blocking them.
They weren't completely blocking them, but they were, you know, they weren't making them accessible, I guess you could say.
It just sucks.
You know, yeah.
So, guys, have you had positive or negative, you know, as far as experiences with them?
You know, we've had 2 negative reviews, basically in our history, and coincidentally enough, both of them were anonymous.
Why do they even allow anonymous? That's another thing. And I think people should have to put their real names in there, not just an initial.
Absolutely.
Their whole names.
Well, the one thing I guess can be nice about Yelp, I'll give him a tip on, because I did have one negative review, and he had his name and stuff, and I went on there. I'm like, I never cleaned for this person at this address. Or
I know.
in that area that day, and I went on there and I fought it, and they did remove it.
See, that's the thing. If they use their real name or specific circumstances, then you'd have a chance to fight it. Now, I hesitate to give out the number because we really don't have enough time. Do you guys do you want to throw out a special or anything for our people while we're waiting? Do you want to just so they can have some screaming deal? You got anything you want to do?
Yeah, you can. I guess I could throw a 30% off on any kind of cleaning. I do tile, grout, upholstery, wool, area rug.
30% off today if they call today. They don't have to have it done today, right?
They don't have to have it done today.
Okay, guys, that's pretty cool. If you want to get any carpet cleaning or tile or grout or upholstery,
wool rugs,
King Organic Carpet Care, 720-529-0804, and it has to be today? Yes. I mean, you have to call today.
Leave a message.
Guys, Paradigm, anything, if someone comes into the store tomorrow, what would you do for them?
We'll do the same thing. We'll do 30% off a custom area rug.
Okay, 30% off an area rug. You go in tomorrow. That's Paradigm Interiors on Pecos and Evans, just west of Santa Fe on Evans. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Don't forget referralist.com and save all your problems for me.
Hi, folks. Dan Cicchini. Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Phone's already in.
Oh, it'll ring for sure. 30% off the good deal.
Leave a message.